comrades, today is March 17, 2026, and the current time is 1920. The Institute's temporary satellite experiment will be concluding soon. Comrades with little to do over this coming weekend are encouraged to sign up for the Satellite Retrieval Volunteer Operation. This unpaid event will have comrades searching through approximately 500 square kilometers of ocean to retrieve the important experiments held within. That concludes today's announcements.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Why do I have the maid outfit on? What's hold on. Give it a second and the game should show up. Hello, I'm alive. Hello, comrades. How are all of you doing on this fine evening? Hello, Goldenrod, who got first and is, I think, the only one who said anything in chat so far today, because I think today's a kind of a slow day. At least that's my assumption, as it is Tuesday, and Tuesdays are usually the slowest days of the week, and that's about what I expect at this point, but that's fine. Welcome to the final episode of NEKOGRAD, which maybe people just don't want to see the finale, but I'm at least wanting to see how much further I can take this space station before we officially conclude our little spacefaring adventure, because it's been quite some time since we started this. In fact, it's been about 17 streams worth of this colony, so I figured it might be time to kind of wrap it up now that I think I've reached the point where I'd be fairly happy with an ending. And the ending is basically, we're gonna try using our beautiful little mech suits in combat at some point. I think it'd be kind of fun to try it out. I have to see though if I can add okay, so I can add a gun to this. Okay, so for example, instead of a knife, we can have a firearm, and let me show you real quick what that looks like. So I can have someone like, say, Kefir, or maybe Ray. Okay, I need someone who's a crafter. Garm, perhaps? Okay, one of these people I'm sure is crafting capable. I don't think anyone in our colony is crafting capable, but I need someone to put the gun on one of these, and then you can see what that looks like. Also, we still have people who are dying of injuries, and we never found enough hyperweave to cure the brain injuries, but we can pretend that ultimately in the end we do find enough hyperweave and other materials to cure our injuries. And then we can probably start a new colony next week, because as much fun as this colony is, like I said, it's been quite some time, and I think we're approaching, I think what I would say is probably a good end state, if that makes sense. I think we're approaching what I would find to be an appropriate end state, and we can move into another somewhat also more exciting run, just not this one in particular, because as much fun as NEKOGRAD is, we have not had many challenges once we reach a certain point in the game. And it just becomes a how much more can we just rip through our foes. Now, I think we are generally okay. I think there's a few spots that I forgot. I want to make sure the ship is at least fully complete. There's a couple rooms, for example, that don't have oxygen. This room doesn't have any oxygen, so we need to fix that. And we also need to make sure we have enough steel. Thankfully, our steel issues have been resolved by building these beautiful plasma drills. Give me a second. I need to move my face tracking thingy because it keeps not tracking me correctly. So we finally have access to some beautiful infinite steel. How are you doing, Comrade Zoingo? Hopefully you're having a good evening. So that's kind of where we're at. I will say the main issue in this colony is it can't generate enough oxygen. Like, no matter what I do, and I don't know if it's just the way that the game is doing things with the oxygen set up with the whole Auxiliary thing, but there's not really a way to generate large quantities of Auxiliary to make oxygen. And that's probably like my biggest gripe with this mod, and I like with the whole vanilla expanded whatever, it just, there's a lot of things that you think it would work fine, but it doesn't work the way you think it will, and it's not going to work as much as you want it to, and it's very, very irritating. Having dinner, you made a mushroom burger. Can't say I'm fond of mushroom burgers, but as long as you're enjoying your mushroom burger, what kind of mushroom are you using for said mushroom burger? That's the real question. Also, I need to set this to make Vaxstone No, I think we're making concrete mix out of standard chunks now, right? I want to make this on number 1. I want to make sure we have enough of that to go around. I know there's like portobello mushroom burgers and a lot of other variants nowadays that people are really into. Can't say I'm familiar with all of them, but hey, as long as you enjoyed. Oh, I need the advanced AI core. Why are we not making the advanced AI core? What am I missing? Probably the chips. Oh no, we're missing the, I forgot. So our biggest issue is we actually don't have components. I forgot that the biggest problem in the colony is the lack of actual standard components, which is the most surprising part about this. And so what I would like to do, if we can get enough materials, is to just slam down like a whole bunch of auto fabricators in like a tiny room, and all it is just making components perpetually. In fact, just to at least make this a little bit better for us, is I'm going to actually I'm going to extend this room out a little bit, and we're going to put in a room. Basically, here's all of the auto fabricators. So we're gonna do exactly that real quick. We're just gonna put a nice simple door right. I think we'll put it like here for now, and then we're gonna just dig this out, and we're just gonna put in a very, very nice heavy room that we can just put a lot of these auto fabricators in. I think that's what I want to do. Maybe like multiple rows of it. Actually, once made a minced mushroom burger, and bean burger is really good. I don't know. I just, for me, I need meat. If it ain't got meat, I'm usually not interested. Portobello, since it's what's used on hand, need to be used for. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, if you gotta use it before it goes bad, that makes a lot of sense too. Like I said, I'm not gonna say I'm a picky eater, but there is some things that I'm a little picky about when I'm eating, and it's usually related to like, is it going to be meat or plant-based? Hello, Nihil. Good evening. How are you? Welcome to our little adventure up in space, where we are trying to figure out how to get more components, because right now we are completely lacking steel. Our colony is very steel poor right now, and so we're trying to fix that bit by bit. Or sorry, we have steel, but we don't have components. Also, hello, Ladronis, how are you? Hello, Mycobite, greeting fellow humans. Yeah, we're talking about food, because Zoigo's making a mushroom burger. Personally, I don't like mushrooms very much at all. I'm very much a meat-based person who consumes meat-based things, and mushrooms are one of those things that I just don't really enjoy. But I understand that some people really like it, and I'm not here to judge that much. So I understand. Just got off work. Oh, how was your work? Was it rough? But yeah, we need components. We need a lot of components, unfortunately, for the colony. So we gotta that. That's right. Technically, your name is Mycos Synth. I get the whole joke. You're a mushroom. We may have to go back to the surface. I don't want to go back to the surface, but I'm so desperate. This thing can only produce so fast is the problem. And I need more of these supply shelves, and I need to set that up over here. So it's going to be a lot of effort to do this. But we're trying. I would question whether or not you can tell the differences. If you can't, then don't matter. Oh, that's fair enough. I guess if you can't tell, who cares? I think a major carrier went down the city and all the VIP sort of scrambled. It was a bit of a... Wait, what? What do you mean a major carrier went down in your city? Is it weather related, or is it current events related? You like meat, but you could easily go vegetarian. That's most you go to. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I don't know. I think it's because I grew up basically eating meat with every single meal, that if a meal doesn't have meat, it just... Like, I can't just eat, like, vegetables and rice, if that makes sense. I have to have, like, vegetables, rice, and a protein of some kind. And not tofu. I mean, like, I need, like, meat. I need, like, beef, chicken, pork. You gotta give me something. I'm very carnivorous in terms of diet. It's probably not healthy all the time to be doing that, but it's what I prefer. Oh my gosh, 12 hours. Jeez, well, I hope you're okay. That sounds really rough. Do your best to survive. You can do it, I believe in you. That is really rough, though. You know what I might do? I might cancel these 64K batteries temporarily until we're able to mass produce components with the auto fabricators, because I'm going to need a lot of these things, because the supply shelves also consume components, and that's already fairly rough. We have a few, but we're going to need a lot more of these. Thankfully, with all these miners, look how fast we can completely dig out an entire room. This thing gets caved out, this thing gets caved out really quick. You trend towards a meat-based land yourself, but that's mostly out of convenience, because you live in the US where everything is meat-based. Listen, it's easy to say, oh, I'm gonna have a nice plant-based diet, but then you see that, but then you get your hands on a beautiful Costco $1.50 hot dog meal, and it's just like, I can't get away from that. You're fine, just mentally toasted. Working on making a Cadian cosplay. What's Cadian? I don't know, Weebcon sounds really fun. Also, thank you, Rita Dirat, for the follow. I assume German, perhaps? So, plants and meats, no fungi, but fungi are awesome. They do have their own thing, that's true. Like I said, I personally prefer, like, there's a couple mushrooms that I'm willing to consume. Like, usually if it's like a simple, like a woody ear that I see in ramen. I think for me, like, the mushroom that I hate the most is like the traditional button mushroom, like a white button, the typical mushroom I just hate. I have a very bad experience with it as a kid, so I just don't like consuming it, like, ever. Like, I just will refuse to eat it, if that makes any sense. It probably makes me sound incredibly childish, but I swear, like, there's a reason why I dislike mushrooms. I promise you, there's a legitimate reason why I dislike mushrooms. Rita the Rat, got it. Welcome aboard, Comrade. Hopefully you're having a good evening. Let's see. You're not a streamer, are you? Or are you a streamer? I don't know. But how are you doing, Havel? I'm doing pretty good. Actually, I need to do something real quick. Need to quickly move this around. Oh, you are? Okay, what do you stream? Warhammer 40k. You know what's funny? I've actually been looking for some 40k games to maybe play at some point on stream, but I just haven't had a chance to pick one. I'm trying to see if there's like a 40k XCOM-like game, or if I should just download XCOM again and theme it after 40k. That's probably the easier solution if people want to... Because I know there's a lot of people who like 40k here, but I personally have not played 40k stuff. I need like a 40k turn-based strategy. I'm sure there's one or two out there, and I just don't know what they're called. Mostly roleplay related stuff. Ah, okay, like TRPGs and RPGs and stuff like that. Got it. You know, I just realized, oh, we can't use the shuttle in space. It's just too far. All right. We actually are running out of food. We might unironically have to go back to the surface because this is just literally not enough auxiliary to fuel our ever-expanding need for progress. Like, legitimately, I might have to move the auxiliary contraption somewhere here, and we might have to use... like these I don't know what you want to call it. We might have to automate it. Mechanicus? Oh, Mechanicus. Warhammer 40k Mechanicus. All right, let me take a look at this. Ray's here. Hello, Ray. Say hello to Ray. I actually just pulled it up on Steam. I actually own this game. Huh. Wait, do I own this? Oh no, I don't own it. Maybe at some point. I don't want to play the 40k actual tabletop game. I've had friends like try to get me to play it, but I really don't think I want to play Warhammer 40k. Part of the reason is, unironically, is just I don't really need to get into yet another expensive hobby. I already have a lot of expensive hobbies, and I'm pretty sure Ray is like gonna yell at me for being into, like, she's probably like, hey, stop getting into hobbies. So that's kind of why. That said, I will probably play either, like, I'm planning on playing the Warhammer Total War game, the 40k one, because I am actually deeply interested in that one. So don't worry, I plan on playing that, like, at some point. That's something I've been looking forward to. Okay. I don't want to get the plastic. Did it just say, how come it didn't make the little... Oh, there it is. That was super delayed. Oh, it doesn't say anything. Thanks, Rita. Hopefully you enjoy your time here. I'm surprised you're subscribing so soon after just joining us. But I appreciate the sub regardless. Thank you for the sub. Also, Rogue Trader. So the funny is, I actually do own Rogue Trader. I have not played it. It's sitting in my Steam library, demanding I play it, along with all the other games that it's sitting there demanding that I play it. So maybe at some point I'll play them. I'm just too lazy. I'm too lazy to play a lot of games. Okay, I think we have to go to the surface. We're gonna leave these 5 up here. I think that should be okay if I leave these 5 up here. I'd like to take Garm back, but I think leaving Garm is okay. And then we're just gonna... We're gonna go grab as much components as we can. And more steel. Because we actually are running out of food, so... Oh, shoot, these guys are gonna have to survive. They're gonna have to survive strictly on... nutrient paste. Well, thankfully, nutrient paste grows really quick, so they're not really hungry, right? Yeah, they'll be fine. All right. Let me see here. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to read everything by the plastic. Yeah, I don't want to get into. I already don't want to get into plastic. Also, how are you doing, Immortal? Let's see. You're free to give money, no matter how much you like the Mechanicus. You finally had your will break and you commissioned art for the first time in your life. Oh, you commissioned art! Congratulations! What kind of art are you commissioning? Is it like of your OC, your online persona? Okay, who am I leaving behind? Havel, Garm, Immortal, Sweetheart, Airman. Okay, so let's do that. I do need to go to the surface, and we need to just quickly grab a few more. We should be able to stay permanently in space soon. We just need to get a little bit more to kind of keep us going. So I think we'll land probably. I guess this is fine. And then, okay, so who am I leaving behind again? Oh, Havel's the engineer, so Havel has to come with us regardless, but I believe we're gonna leave behind Immortal, Sweetheart, and Garm, and there's one other person who I'm forgetting, Airman, and I have to redo that again. Shoot, give me 1 second to do this, and then I will read chat again, I'm sorry. We'll land here. So, we're leaving behind Sweetheart, Garm, and Airman, and Immortal, and those four should be fine in space by themselves. Okay. Reference art of a phase. Oh, okay. Well, congratulations. Hopefully it'll be a great thing. I don't know who you commissioned, but I am kind of curious if you're willing to share. Otherwise, just wait until the art comes out. 2 hours, 40k discussion while playing D&D and coming. Unfortunately, dragons are kind of a lobster. That's peak life. Is it really? I don't know if I would consider a dragon a lobster. Aren't dragons basically just giant space lizards? Or giant lizards, not space lizards, but just giant lizards that breathe fire? Okay, if it's Space Station 14, then I wouldn't know for sure. Maybe getting a new model. Ooh, congratulations, Ladronis. Hopefully the model comes out nice. Wait, have you streamed before? I can't remember. I think you streamed a long time ago, right? Or occasionally still? I don't remember. Oh, you did stream recently. Okay, I see it. Oh, so you're gonna get a new model. Got it. I see now. I always trying to remember who like streams because like some people here stream, some people don't. And yes, Long goes right. I do have a printer. I should probably print things. I haven't printed a lot recently. I'm mostly just printing. I need to like set up a. I've been meaning to start printing Gridfinity bins, but the problem is I actually don't have a drawer in which I could use Gridfinity with, which is like the weirdest problem to have. Like I want to use Gridfinity, but I don't have a drawer in which I could use to organize with Gridfinity. What a very strange conundrum, short of going to IKEA and buying more furniture, which I don't really want to be doing right now. Okay, I found their art. It's pretty interesting. They retweet a lot of spicy content. I'm like, okay, I see. Also, hello, Fateng Gaming. Is it Fat Engineer, Fat English, Fateng? Like one word? Who knows? Oh, shoot, one of these people can deal with plants, right? Okay, Immortal can deal with plants, because I need someone to harvest the rice soon. Alright, we're gonna land here and just try to get some food, and then if we can find components, then that's really the main thing. And we're gonna sell off a lot of our excess materials so we can obviously get more components to go with it as well. You still like do a few times, like, okay, got it. The price is rice. What do you mean the price is rice? Question really specify the characters flat chested. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, sometimes you just commission someone and then you're like, wow, that is spicy art. I mean, to be fair, I'm always of the opinion that, and some people may disagree with this, but I'm always of the opinion that if you draw spicy art, you will probably have a better concept of the human body than most people, just by virtue of, well, commissioning spicy content, just drawing spicy content. If I land here, how much damage is this gonna do? And there's not really a lot of places to land. I don't want to turn the ship sideways. And there's a reason I'm not turning the ship sideways, by the way. It's for, like, later on. But I don't really... I guess I could land here. Or can I land... I guess I'll land over here. It's the safest, though. It's fine. Oh, we're playing super modded. This is, like... There's like 165 mods in this run right now. It's fairly modded. It's not as heavily modded as some other people, but it is fairly heavy. Okay, I need to start figuring out where the local steel veins are. Super modded, exactly. Hello, Alana. How are you? Hopefully you're having a good evening too. It's not even a blip on the radar. I know, but if I add more mods into my run, I'm pretty sure my PC would explode. Remember back in the day when we were running like 200 plus mods and also the game took like an hour to load? Ah, good times. I remember that. I remember those early days. I don't do that anymore because I'm a little bit more sane than I used to be, but there was a time when it was just the wild, wild west of nonsense. Let's just dig all that out. That should be fine. Alright, we should also allow everyone outside. Perfect. Just chatting sections. Yeah, exactly. It was basically a just chatting section for like an hour. Oh my goodness, that was... Oh, we've got to research something. That was quite the time. Yeah, it's a lot of mods. Oh shoot, I forgot to turn on the... Okay, I gotta turn the bot on. Hold on. Yeah, sorry, I have to turn it back on. One of the Death Star was just testing with Fair's master progression mod list. I've seen that mod. I kind of want to try it for a run one of these days, because you start all the way in like caveman era and you slowly make your way through the different eras. I actually want to try it. Like, it actually looks super cool. I'm actually considering one of these days we might use that as like a long-term colony thing. It seems super interesting. Also, we're being attacked by a wild pack of 28 grizzly bears, so maybe everyone should stay on the ship for a little bit until we can deal with this problem. Thankfully, my solution is have certain people just get ready to hold the front lines. So Exonia and these two. Okay, we're gonna have shotgunner here, the shotgunner here, get the shotgunners ready to go. Just keep the shotgunners behind. Even Infidave, who's dying of mechanites or whatever it is, should be fine. Make sure they're all set to buckshots, because buckshot will deal with that real quick. Okay. Okay. You're glad in space. Yeah, you don't have to deal with the giant stack of grizzly bears, which are very... Oh god. Why is it... Wait. Has there always been a Scaria texture? I've never seen that before. Unless I've just never noticed it. Anyways, we're just gonna let them grind through this. They're not gonna get through that. Oh, did Odyssey add it? I might have just never noticed it then. Okay. Now let's quickly finish executing the rest of these. Okay. Oh wait, there's still one more that's alive there, isn't there? Okay, so I must have just completely missed it somehow. Okay, we gotta deal with this now. Okay, so quickly do this. We're gonna zone dumping storage. Clear all critical rotting corpses. Go here. And then we're just gonna quickly haul urgently all this. I think there's one more here that's alive. I don't know. All right, and then let's just do that. Okay, I think we're good. I do remember the Scaria infections. Yeah, like if your pawn gets bitten by what's essentially space rabies, you can get rabies too. Yeah, I've seen that before, and it looks really. I've seen the progression pack, and it looks really cool. I definitely want to try it at some point. I just haven't had a chance to decide if I want to dedicate like a very long run, because I think if I did a run like that, it would be almost like 24 episodes to kind of get through it. And as much as I love that, that is a lot of, well, episodes to go through. So I kind of like to do shorter, unique colonies that allows us to try different things. But I don't know, maybe we'll try it at some point. Maybe we'll give it a shot. I think it'd be kind of neat to do eventually. Also, I forgot there's traders that came by. Do they have anything of note, or are they just leaving? Trade with the war merchant. Maybe I can acquire some components or steel. That's also true. Yeah, maybe I do feel TTK does create a decent amount of like TPS lag. Like I am pretty sure that is kind of like one of the big issues. We still use it anyways because I kind of like it. Maybe we could try out that new one that that is constantly being pushed nowadays, whatever it's called. I think Rick's. Yeah, I think it was Rick's. Oh, that might be a whole nother problem to deal with. Let's see. Is there anything else I can sell them that I don't want? Look at all these pants I don't need. Yeah, have all the garbage. I can have all that. I don't need all that. Should be fine if I sell all that. Yeah, that's okay. We'll do that. So, because I know, what's his name? Huddle really kind of just disappeared off the face of the earth, which I think is the main reason why TTK just doesn't really have a lot of development going on right now, and it's kind of sad, but I also understand, like, hey, maybe he's just not really feeling like doing anything with it anymore. Modders come and go, streamers come and go, but Rimworld is eternal, and usually someone will pick it up and temporarily take care of it for the time being, but that's also a lot of effort. Yeah. No, I get it. Like, maybe he just decided he's just done, and I totally get it. Also, let's kill all these animals. I need food. There we go. Here's our food stock supply for this, for here. Just let them run wild, and hopefully that should be fine. Maybe we don't let okay, maybe we don't let the child go outside, because he's gonna die, so he's stuck inside for the time being. And then everyone else just keep hauling the corpses around, and that should be fine. We'll let them rot. It never added a way for you to use your backer pawn, though. What do you mean? For TTK? Like, to specifically call in your backer pawn and use that one exclusively? Wait, who needed the surrogate heart? Oh, wait, that was an old heart. We don't need that anymore. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. That's unfortunate. That is really unfortunate, because I know, like, the backer pawns, ever since they came out with, like, the xenotypes, they kind of just... You might just end up with a pawn that's not your pawn, right? Like, you could just end up being like an impid or whatever one of the many xenotypes in the game are, and I know that's not something people necessarily want. I definitely wouldn't want that. If it was my pawn, I would prefer not to have to deal with that. Okay, we are still short on components, right? Yes, so our biggest issue is we have none of steel, and we require much steel. So let us hopefully acquire large quantities of said metals in the near future, while some of our pawns are having complete mental breakdowns because they don't like looking at nasty, disgusting corpses. What's it going up in space? Yeah, that's also true, because I'm sure a lot of them have just kind of fallen off the game. Why does Sweet Todd move so slow? Am I crazy? His movement speed is 4.78, but it feels like he moves slower than any other pawn in the game. Or is it just Garm that moves fast? Am I crazy? Movement's like only 96%. It can't be that bad. Why does he move super slow? Yeah, that's also true. No, I get it. I get it. It's kind of hard to get everyone to answer questions, especially like some of them might be, unfortunately, as we're discussing, might be long gone now. Such as the unfortunate reality of the current time. Okay, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna send we can load this up still, right? Come on. What do I not need? I don't need any of these. Just load this up. We can sell that. I wish I had gotten in at that time in the backer era, but alas, I was not playing Rimworld at the time, and so I must simply be memorialized in other ways. Like in that cool hair mod that you should all download that features me and Ray in it. Thanks, Alana, for putting us in. I still think that's really cool, and I know we use the Ray one a lot. I would use mine if I was in the colony, but since I'm not in the colony most of the time, that's the other unfortunate reality. Okay, so hold on. To double back the logic, what do you mean double back the logic? Also, do they have food in space? I keep forgetting. They should, right? Yeah, they'll be fine. Oh, okay, hold on. What are they trying to place? What else is this thing spawn that it's not able to place? It's the jelly. I bet you it's trying to place jelly. Yeah, there it is. Okay. It was trying to place jelly, but since it's not really designed to hold jelly, now it does. Now it holds all this random stuff here. So they can build, they just don't have components, and I forgot to give them a fabrication bench. kind of stuck up there without any food for now, but they'll live, I think, probably. Hello, comrade son. How are you doing? It still jars you when you open the hair picker and see some other streamers. Like which streamers? There's lots of streamers. Like the Tyrus, I think, is one of them. I know that Alana put in there at some point. Let's deconstruct this too. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little sleepy, but that's because my sleep schedule's still a little out of whack, and I plan on basically not getting more sleep tonight because I'm planning on playing a bit of Battlefield 6 after stream because the new DLC just came out. They came out with a new map, and I am very interested in trying out the new map because it's very indoorsy and very dark and spooky. So, Blessed Heretic. I don't think I've ever... So the thing is, like... I don't know if this is weird to say. I think I've talked about this before, but I don't really watch a lot of other streamers. So, yeah. I'm probably not familiar with that individual. You wonder if there's a way to mod in streamers as a favorite pawn spawn into the game? I don't know. It's a good question if there's a way to mod streamers in as a favorite pawn spawn, but that's... I think that's what Alana might have been referring to. I'm sure you could probably do something like, okay, here's a bunch of predefined pawn configs and you can just have it load in through like pawn editor, but that might also just be a lot of effort, and generally it's mostly like a self-indulgent thing, I think, for a lot of players. Just keep that in mind, right? Like, yeah, you could maybe do it, but is it really worth it? God, look at all that bear meat. Oh, so much meat. Is there a way to make this faster? I don't think there's a way to make this faster, right? No, there's not. Okay. It'd be nice if I could make this faster, but there's no way to... I think it's the solution is just make more. Just have more is the solution to most problems that we run into. Thankfully, Ray out here is also just able to get that. That's fine. You can add solid BIOS to the game if you patch them in, but you consider custom gray line modding because it's directly bypassing a Ludeon revenue stream. Yeah, I would... Now I can understand why you might want to avoid that then. It would have been cool to have been in that era, but the thing is, like, I was not backing a lot of games. Most games that I back have actually come out. There's only one that's never come out, and it's a weird visual novel that I've mentioned a bunch of times. I'm not really gonna get into, but it's, let's just say it's a World War II VN where some characters have been gender swapped, and supposedly it's coming out, but there hasn't been an update on Kickstarter in like over a year now, and they're only posting updates on Discord, which, by the way, can I just state how much I hate how everything is based on Discord? I think I've complained about this before, but when Discord dies, so much data is going to be lost to time. It's going to be a terrible day because of all the unarchived information, the collective knowledge of various internet communities. Across when you found out one of the old mods added as Easter egg. Oh, one of the old mods you were using, got it. The Day of the Great Death by Discord. It is really rough because, like, the thing is, Discord is very much just walled gardens, and a lot of information can be lost because not all these Discord servers are going to be backed up. And I still think the era of like wikis and era of like internet forums was the best time, but those eras are long gone. I used to be part of fun internet forums until they all died. I used to be part of Hongfire, if anyone remembers what that internet forum was. There's an internet forum called Hongfire. It was very much an anime weeb forum back in the day. I don't think... then at some point they just died, and it just left. And like, and then I remember the URL got hijacked by some Russian video sharing site that it shared a lot of not safe for work content, and I was always wondering what the heck happened to Hongfire. And it's just, I guess the owners just didn't want to maintain it anymore. Mostly just insular RP games got in MMOs thanks, and also part of things like Discord. Oh yeah, no, a lot of it's the other thing too, right? Like, there's like all of these private communities with like all their vetting processes, but that's the same thing that was like you're gonna deal with on any forum. I think people just like Discord because it allows for quick, instantaneous communication, whereas forums are very much a deliberate, you gotta think about what you're writing type posting, right? Because you think about it, like the average Discord discussion could easily end up being like, you know, 30 pages on a 10 post per page message board. So, because Discord allows you to make short, simple messages and have that instantaneous communication rather than the more deliberate thinking communication that would be part of an internet forum. I am an old man talking about the good old days. I miss internet forums. Okay, I was there. I used to know how to use vBulletin and all those other what was the other ones? It was like bBulletin and PHPBB. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know moderation was definitely like a really rough thing too. I still think one of the cool things that back in the day was like, oh, if you had like a, depending on how your internet forum was set up, you earned score, and you had like a post count on, and you had like the little avatars, and you had like your e-signatures. I don't know if anyone remembers like those signature banners that people used to always have under their like their posts, like the little like banners that were like 20 pixels high. Oh my goodness, I remember those things. Those were great. I may or may not have used a bunch of weeb ones. Oh, fun times. Fun times. Stop, your knees hurt already? No, it's fun to reminisce about the good old days, right? What's wrong with that? It's fine to talk about the good old days when it comes to these types of things, right? Break my knees and no, please don't break my knees. I like having knees. Also, before I forget, I do need to, what I want to set up too before I forget, is I need to find a way to automate moving steel into this area. And I do have all this industrial technology, including conveyor belts. I have no idea how to really use conveyor belts, but I think as long as it feeds things in, that's all that matters. So I could probably do something like a splitter. Eventually at some point we could probably just put like, I'll figure something out later. I just don't know how, because the main thing is we don't have enough steel yet. This thing is making as much steel as we can possibly make for the time being, and obviously we're turning all this into usable material, but that's a problem for later. No, I know how to use conveyor belts, I just don't know how to use them in Rimworld yet. I'm also like snapping balls. No. My knees are perfectly fine. Please don't snap my knees. I like being able to walk and play DDR when I want to play DDR. You did an apprenticeship like 3 years ago in programming, and now you're telling a KI it's supposed to be code and you're just correcting the code. What's a KI? An intern? 23 minutes on ARM plays, done 16 hours of printing. I hope your print goes well. Some of those prints are just really I know the feeling of having like a long print and then you're like, oh, uh-oh. Did we rescue this person? We did. All right. Are they tended to? Yes. Okay. Who's the most sociable person in the colony? That's not on the verge of mental breakdown. All right. Congrats to Comrade Nahil. I'm sending you on a trading journey. Come back with components, please. And other materials. Okay, we're gonna launch you to the nearest township of Inrune. That should be fine. But yeah, I've played Factorio, and I have finished Factorio, but I have not finished Space Age. I think I got kind of stuck on one of the planets, and I just never bothered to sit down and finishing it. I thought about just replaying it on my Steam Deck, because apparently the controller scheme for Factorio is actually not that bad, but that's also a lot of effort, and it's probably better to not. Hello, Greywind, good evening. Let's sell a bunch of this so I can afford all the stuff I'm trying to buy. I think I buy... Definitely buy the I don't think I need to buy glass steel. What do I actually need to buy here? I could buy cheeseburgers. I could buy a Wraith Blade. I don't think I actually want to buy any of this. I think I just buy enough until I have enough silver. The Nutramine's probably correct. I guess buy some of the chem fuel. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, perfect. And then we're gonna, once it's ready, we're gonna just continue heading off on our magical adventure. The Rimworlding is going pretty good. We're expanding. You're gonna return with Funko Pops. I'm concerned. Have I complained about Funko Pops before? Have I ever complained about Funko Pops? I hate Funko Pops, like legitimately. I do not like them at all. And it's very easy to say that, oh, it's just because you're a weeb and it's like thing America versus thing Japan. But I find the Funko Pop aesthetic to just be incredibly soulless and lifeless. And that's why I dislike them very much. Because I remember seeing, like, the best way I saw it described was Funko Pops prioritize the branding of a Funko Pop over the property that it's supposed to be expressing versus like an anime figure which prioritizes the property that it's representing over the fact that it's the figure, whoever's making the figure. And that's kind of why I have a strong disdain for Funko Pops, because I don't like the soulless, beady black eyes that they all have. I'd much rather just pay the money for like a proper anime figure, which I honestly haven't bought one in a while. I think the last time I bought one was when I was in Japan. Otherwise, I know Ray got me one at some point. What's Syndria? What do you mean by Syndria? Oh, okay, the mod. What's in there? I guess I'll take a look. Do you have Funko Pop? Does your mod make sell Funko Pops now? Is that what's going on? Funko Pops of our great gas station attendant in the sky? Is that what's happening? That's of great concern to me. Need my water. Let me drink my water. I'm drinking a ton of water today, by the way. I had a lunch that I was not too fond of, and I am like recovering from consuming it. So, oh my goodness, here we go. Components. Look at that. We have materials. We're not useless anymore. Oh my goodness. I'm more glad we have components so we can keep making advanced components. Well, don't worry, we'll play some Star Sector on Thursday, and then after that, I think we'll move Star Sector to be like a once every couple weeks game rather than like a once every week game. That's kind of how I like to approach Star Sector, because as much as I like it, I can only take Star Sector in short bursts, quite frankly, versus something like Rimworld that I can get easily lost in a game like Rimworld. Colony builders, I think, are like my favorite genre, like one of my favorite genre of games. Can you imagine if Rimworld had a turn-based combat system like XCOM? Oh, that would be completely nonsensical, but the more I think about it, I'm like, that'd be kind of cool, actually. But it wouldn't be very useful, I think. Yeah, it's just not enough oxygen. Even all these auxiliary plants, it's just not enough O2. I may need to expand the oxygen facilities. In fact, I'm going to do that right now since I know this is going to be needed anyways. We're just going to prep this now by digging it out. So first we're going to dig out the walls so I don't have any cave-ins. Let's do that quickly. Yeah, 12 hours for one battle. Exactly. Oh, man. We should play XCOM again. But I know Ray doesn't like XCOM, so that's the only reason I haven't done it. Because I know Ray's like, no more XCOM. She's sick and tired of seeing XCOM. Even though she was in the XCOM and she was a character. She was a main character, I think. Oh, they're willing to buy Jade. I'll sell them some Jade. They can have the funny green rock in exchange for their advanced components. That's perfectly fine. Sell 700 of it. We don't need Jade. Jade is just pretty. It does nothing for us but look pretty. Perfect. Okay. Actually, while we're here, I should probably order them to also dig out all the remaining plasteel that's within easy reach, just because it's probably good for us to have that done. Okay, so the main reason we're doing it this way is so that once I have this built out, I can prep the steel wall, and then we can dig out the rest. Hello, Infidave. How are you, comrade? Good evening. How are you on this fine Tuesday? Are you able to relax, or are you suffering of some kind? I know you're still, like, far away in the magical realm of, like, bad Philippines or something. Speaking of the Philippines, I saw a really funny interpretation of a character from Fate Zero, where I didn't realize this, but apparently Kiritsugu, and by extension Ilya, is apparently part Filipino. And I was just like, is this real? Is this something that I could believe? Because I remember reading Fate Zero, the novel, when I was in high school. And I was like, this seems... And I didn't realize that he might actually be part Filipino, but it's kind of left very much up to individual interpretation. Relaxing is when you think you're having free time and you're not required to deal with pain and suffering on a day-to-day basis. I saw that the price in the Philippines for gas has now gone up over like 100 pesos per liter, so that a lot of those pictures, like, you know, like a lot of gas stations that go on, like, the Philippines only go up to like two digits in either direction. Now it's like they have to stick a 1 like on a giant piece of sheet metal or cardboard at the end of it, because it's like, oh, it's actually gone over 100 pesos per liter now, and that's really rough. I've seen pictures of gas prices in certain parts of California. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is, you know, hold on, this is probably the best way to describe it. Let me do this way. Okay. We all know what a gas station sign looks like, right? Okay, gas station sign. Okay. So it looks like this, right? And then usually you have it like, you know, number, dot, number. Okay. So apparently in the Philippines, because gas prices have gone up so much, right? So this only goes up to 2 digits either way. Apparently now it's so bad that they literally have to just stick like a 1, like on a sheet of like, you know, cardboard, so that they can be like 100, you know, it could be like, you know, like 106.xx pesos per liter, stuff like that. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's really bad. The gas is going into a glass bottle. Are you gonna drink that, or are you gonna turn it into something else with the glass bottle? I'm sure it'll self-correct eventually, but man, it would be nice to have an electric car right now. But also electricity prices are going up too, so there's no winning, there's only losing. The only winning move is not to play, but unfortunately we're all required to play. We all gotta play the game. Okay, do we have enough components that I'm willing to go back into space? I really don't want to stay on the surface as much as I have to. We really don't need to be farming steel in the long term, because we got steel already up in space. So I don't think we have to stay here. We could probably just leave. Although I do want to grab those 8 components. We do want that. Oh, it's just closed down. Oh, I mean, that's fair too. Yeah, if a lot of things have to sell, you just continue to bike out of spite. So I would bike, but unfortunately I can't exactly bike 30 miles to my place of employment on a day-to-day basis, in which case I must continue to become one with the masses and use a motor vehicle to commute. And before you ask, there is in fact no public transportation that I could take to get there. It's very dumb. It is very dumb that there's like not really a good public transit way. I wish I could explain to you how stupid the Chicago transit system is when it comes to, and just like cities in general are very dumb when it comes to their public transit systems when it comes for commuters. So you know what, here's an example. One of the biggest issues that I think that cities have in general for like public transit design is that it's very much like a hub and spoke design, right? So you'll usually have something like your major cities in the middle, right? And then, you know, all the different, you know, transit lines will flow in to this, you know, center area. And then you'll have like, you know, your terminal cities like here, whatever. And then you'll have, you know, all like the little stops on the line like that, etc. But one of the biggest issues is that a lot of these don't include the wheel portion. So for example, you know, let's say you're on like this northeastern quadrant and you want to go down to like this western city here. There's no direct route between these two, right? Like that just straight up doesn't exist. So like the only way to accomplish this is you have to flow in from, go to the center and then take another train, and then you can end up in the destination area, rather than having like just a simple direct connection between some of these like locales. It's very dumb, and it's part of the reason why I think a lot of people in the US don't take public transit, because it's just what would be a 15-minute drive becomes like a 1-hour odyssey. And that's kind of the biggest issue. It's one of the biggest issues right now. But yeah, basically it's the lack of a wheel. God, look at all this cool technology that I don't really need. I guess we'll grab this. You blame big car. I also blame big car. Give me street cars like San Francisco used to have. I love the look of street cars. Canada's actually got, like, I think Toronto actually is a pretty decent public transit system. It's not perfect, but it's definitely one of the better ones I've experienced. Like, and I say that unironically. Like, you have subways, you have trams, you have buses. Like, you have a plethora of choices when it comes to trying to navigate from point A to point B. in Canada. And I think they've done a really good job of just giving you options, right? I think that's really nice. Anyways, we should probably get back to Rimworld. I have no idea what I'm talking about anymore. What am I doing? We're going to space, right? Because this thing's been digging out lots of steel. Oh my gosh, it's stuck. It can't put any more down. What is, what's blocking it? Is it the silver? It might be the silver. No. Hold on, I need to see what could be blocking this thing. What could be blocking this? Okay, hold on. So we know insect jelly is allowed. Uranium is allowed. Gold is allowed. Silver, plasteel, jelly. What could it be? What could possibly be missing? That's super weird. What if I just allow everything? Okay, no. Okay, maybe we don't allow everything. Okay, so jelly and raw materials. It's not stone blocks. What is actually? Is it actually just full? It legitimately just might be full. All right, let's just go back into space. I feel like if we go into space, we can solve all of our problems. We don't really need to be here, so we're mostly here just to get some trades in, get some more food, and get a decent stockpile of materials. So let's go return to the system, to our station of Mir, which is all the way up here. We're just gonna fly on up. Don't really need to be here anymore. I guess we could grab that steel, but if we already have a machine that's digging out copious amounts of steel, who cares? What are we waiting for? Wait, who are we waiting for? Ah, there they are. All right. Oh shoot, whatever happened to that person that we were taking care of? Did they just leave? Wasn't there like a prisoner or like some space person that got injured and we were taking care of him? Oh well. Whatever. Anyways, what was I talking about before we got into like talking about cars? I think I was talking about Rimworld, right? Oh, Rimworld mods. Yeah. Oh, we abandoned that person. That's fine. Who cares? One of these days, I'd like to make a Rimworld mod, but every time I don't know how to design things, I think. Then I saw some people. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing I'm conflicted in. One, I'm not very good at designing weapons. But then two, I go look on the workshop and it's like, look at this science fiction gun mod. And then it's just like, it's literally just a normal firearm that exists in real life. Like a P90, but they just modified the colors and maybe added some sci-fi trimmings. And I'm like, is that all it takes? Is that all it takes to come up with a quote-unquote original weapons mod nowadays? Maybe if I just don't know what I'm doing, that might actually not be a bad idea. I don't know. I just thought it was so funny. Oh my god, there's another... Okay, so hey, you know how we're using Rim Factory? Did you know there's another factory mod that has come out that I don't really want to use because I'm already too used to using Rim Factory? I'll give you a hint. It's VE. Oh boy, I will, I'm just gonna not look at that right now. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting mods. I don't try using too many weapons mods. I know a lot of them are usually attached to another, like, race mod. Like the Ratkin and... Yeah, there's a lot of Ratkin everything nowadays. What was that one? There's also that one modder who always makes like super sexual, like fantasy sci-fi races. Like I normally they had like jellies and stuff. But I can't remember what it was called anymore, and now I'm forgetting. What do you mean the Factorio mod? God, oh yeah, I forgot there's also a thing where people commission mods nowadays too. Where it's like if you want something done but you don't want to do it yourself, you can just commission someone to make it for you. That's it is a choice if you want. That's fine, we'll land right there. Also, what's the Factorio mod? There's a lot of mods like that. Alright. Here we go. We've landed. Everything connects together, and let's get this. Oh shoot! Whoever doesn't have a helmet's not allowed outside. Before I forget, I don't know why Steve. Why do you have a maid? No, you should have a helmet because now you're stuck on the ship. Yeah, I mean, there's Rim Factory, which is what I use. Quite frankly, Rim Factory has a lot of... Oh, shoot. Garm's been stuck here. Rim Factory has a lot of automation tools, so that's kind of an option for people. Let's get Garm out of here. I did not realize I got Garm stuck here. I'm sorry, Garm. Let's get you out of there so you can go consume your nutrient paste. There we go. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of options. You just have to know what you're looking for. And if you know what you're looking for, that solves most of your problems. I need another one of these auto fabricators advances, but that's fine, I think, as long as we have enough to get this slammed out. For example, we have steel here, and I could automate the steel shenanigans that's going on here, but I don't know what to do with all the extra materials. It's kind of the problem. And we don't really care about astrofuel optimization, so I'd rather just tear this apart, and we can probably get materials out of this. Don't know what I'd get, but hey, it's a choice. Like, I don't know what to do with this. So much metal. So I think what I need to do is I need to find a way to get the metal over here, and then once it's over here, I can feed it into a supply. Actually, wait a second. I have a much better idea. So I just realized what I could probably do is have these feed into a conveyor belt, and then we can have the conveyor belt sort. And as long as we can run a supply line all the way to the auto fabricators, that will automatically solve our supply issues. And since we do have a lot of steel, that might actually be perfectly viable. By the way, let's get these weapons kitted out on this thing. I've been meaning to put weapons on this. This one has one Gao, and we're gonna put the other one on here. So you can see now that this beautiful thing has a weapon attached to it. We just have to make the munitions for this weapon. The problem is the weapon's probably gonna be very, very expensive. I think we need to add a payload shelf to these. And then what we'll do is we'll throw a payload shelf maybe like right in front of each one. Perhaps like here is fine. And then we'll see what it looks like. Because even though we have the gun, we don't have the munitions yet. And that is going to be quite expensive. Because this firearm utilizes the joy of a 130 by 173 NATO. So I guess we'll try to slam some of those out. So 30x. Oh, Jesus, probably has to be made in a machine table. 30x1. No, it's probably gonna be in this thing. Am I crazy? Did I not read it right? What is it? 30 by 173 NATO. Okay. 30. Nope. Oh, here we go. So I guess we'll make high explosive rounds because that. We'll just make AP rounds. I think that's fine. We don't need anything more intense than that. And they'll bring it, and then it'll just get loaded in nicely, and then they'll be ready to go. Look at this. I'm gonna color this one. I think this one should be colored. You know what? We're brave NEKOGRADians. I think all of our suits should actually be colored like a nice tan color. I think this is good enough, right? Oh, it's a little too orange. Ooh, it's a little too pukish. I think that's fine. It's a little yellow, but I think it's because of the lighting. Yeah, I think we'll go with that other one. Actually, what I should do, because realistically in a room like this where you're working with heavy equipment, you'd probably want this like pure daylight white. There you go. Ooh. Actually, you know what else we can do? We can add some additional lights to kind of flesh out the aesthetic here. So we're going to add some floor spotlights, just kind of like along the floor to kind of flesh it out, you know what I mean? So probably add like wherever the green spots are, like this. Kind of give it like a runway look. Just like that. I think that'll look wonderful. And then we're already getting our first set of auto fabricators being built, which is fantastic. As long as we can afford the component cost, which is going to be the hardest part, obviously. The advanced components I think are going to kill us. So we'll just worry about that as we make more ammunition. So look at that, our dear space station. Okay, then we just need to load up this with munitions. So this and these three are gonna link together, and the only thing that they're allowed to store is gonna be 30x173 munitions. Make this the critical storage, and that'll be fine. And then these guys are gonna slam out all these wonderful auto fabricators. Now, one of the main issues is that this thing's hull integrity is going down, but I think that'll be fine. I'm gonna actually crank this up a little bit. You found a... Okay, what am I reading? You found a Catgirl proxy army for the Iron Wall Sultanate. Wait, what? Now, I don't plan on playing Iron Wall Sultanate, but I am immediately intrigued when you say Catgirl proxy army. Who comes up with this content? That's the real question. Who comes up with this nonsense for Trench Crusade? People come up with some of the craziest ideas, I tell you what. I'm trying to think how I'm gonna move steel from here to the rooms up there, but I also want to keep this room, but I need to sort the materials. I think... Oh, I have an idea. Hold on. Oh, shoot. This door's not hacked yet. That's so funny. Okay, so we need to hack this door in order to get rid of it, but I'm gonna dismantle this. I have an idea. Yeah, I have a good idea, I think, on how we can set up a steel, like a material sorting facility. So we're gonna use a wall belt like here, and then we're gonna try to funnel these materials onto the conveyor, and then we need to find a way to sort it out automatically once we're ready to do that. So I will need a standard belt, which we'll use. I think we will just use the express conveyor as it uses fast steel, even though we don't really need this one. So we can do something like this, and then we need to find a way to... sort this, but I think I should be able to use a conveyor splitter. Yeah, okay, so we can use a splitter, and we can just have all non-steel goes one way and all other materials go the other way, I think is how we're going to do that. So we'll set one up here, which is going to require at least one machine frame, one robotic arm, and one basic AI chip. One machine frame, one AI chip. There we go, that's fine. Hello, Sweetheart, how's it going? We have mechs. Isn't it beautiful? I think it's great. Also, I need to change or copy the color, paste it here. Look at our beautiful mech hanger. It has weapons and other things. So we're gonna make sure these are linked together, and I need to only store 30x173. There we go. So we're making bullets, and those bullets will be heading there very shortly, and then we can have a wonderful thing that's ready to blast. See, look, they have guns. They do pinup models normally, and they're getting into war game. Ah, it's the artist into plastic pipeline. Man, I think for me, the reason I never really got into plastic is I just legitimately don't have space to do plastic. Magic the Gathering already takes up a lot of my space, as well as standard board games do. So that's kind of why I never got into like Warhammer and stuff like that. I think it'd be fun to get into those things, but it's also quite expensive. So that's kind of the other reason. Maybe one day it'd be nice to get into those games, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. I understand that that is a very expensive hobby to get into, and I really don't need another expensive hobby such as that to, you know, spend more money on. I think Gray would be very unhappy if I spent more money on unnecessary things like that, so to keep her happy, I shall not. I mean, like, I've talked about this, but I got into cameras recently. Do you understand how expensive cameras are? Like, I thought I was gonna be able to start doing photography with maybe like $600. I am now about $900 into the camera hobby, so it's yeah. It very much gets out of hand very quickly. So initially I was like, okay, let me buy a camera, and I was aiming to get something like I wanted a Fujifilm specifically, and I was thinking about getting like the Fujifilm like X1000, like I think it was gonna be the S or the T, which stands for second or third. And then I was like, well, let me get this one instead, because it seemed like a really good deal, and it was a XT2, almost pristine, like less than 1,000 shutter count, with no dings. It was nearly pristine, and I got a really good deal on it. The guy was willing to sell it for $625, so I bought it. And then I was like, well, I need to get a lens now, so I bought a lens. And then I was like, what kind of lens am I gonna buy? So I just picked one up that I kind of liked, and it was this and it was this really nice, it was a very budget lens. It was a TT Artisan something, and it was like $175 after tax, brand new on Amazon. The actual lens I wanted was about $500, but I can't afford $500 when I just got the camera. So I was like, all right, let me get used to this first. And then now I'm like looking at more lenses, and I'm like, well, it would be kind of nice to maybe have like a, you know, like a 50mm lens, even though my lens is only, because my lens only is like 27mm, and I'm just like, I need to not do this, and let me just use this lens for like an entire like 2-3 months, and then I'll think of maybe getting another lens after that. So yes, it's quite a, cameras are, it gets expensive real quick, but I'm trying to avoid falling into I'm trying to avoid falling into gas, which is gear acquisition syndrome, where you get into a new hobby and just want to keep buying more and more things. Like you have to have that willpower to not do that. And yes, I may or may not have bought Ray a bribe to justify buying this purchase, but she's totally okay with the bribe that I have offered her, so it's also her fault too. Yes, we're gonna blame Ray too. And funny that Ray, because of Ray, I'm actually more mature instead of, you know, having to light myself. Listen. Sometimes having a partner to keep you in check is a very, very good and valid thing. There is nothing wrong with having a partner who keeps you in line from any of the insanity that you might be trying to do. Anyways, the photography is doing good. I've taken a lot of photos of mostly my dog, and I was also like trying to take photos of planes when I was just kind of hanging around. I can't exactly explain how, but I took a bunch of photos of planes while I was like on my lunch break is the best way to describe it. So yeah. All right, look, we have a very cool splitter belt now. Okay, so over here, wait, hold on. Set the filter. Okay, so I want steel to go in this direction. So all the steel is gonna flow into here, and then I need to find a way to, is there a way to like split it even further? Or is the conveyor splitter the only way? Is there a way to like balance the split? I actually have no idea if there's a way to balance the split, which is the part I'm concerned about. If there's a way to balance the split, that'd be ideal, but I don't know if there's an option. Maybe that's a research. Hold on. Automation. Nope. Okay. In that case, let's get wooden stockpile crates. I don't know if that's relevant, but sure. Also, what do you mean that's a term? No, so don't worry. Ray's bribe is perfectly fine. She knows what she's getting. Sometimes you have to bribe your significant other to get what you want. Don't do what I do, please. It's asking to perish. I promise you that. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do, if I do this right, is we're gonna make use of the eccentric supply shelf. And then we're just gonna make these out of steel, because I have a lot of steel sitting around. And then I think what I should be able to do is I should be able to put like 5 of these, I think. And then I don't know if this works, and it's probably gonna kill my TPS, but it's fine. I'm gonna put 5 splitters like this. Except here, this one, we're gonna cancel this one. Okay, and then I think this last one we're gonna replace with a very simple belt. I have no idea if this is gonna work. And then I will need 4 frames, arms, and chips. So 4 arms, frames, and chips, which are all fairly... Oh, geez, that's actually kind of expensive. That's fine. And then once that's done, I should be able to run a... Let's see here. Let's also get all these linked together. Steel only. Make this critical. And then I'm going to run an entire supply conduit, which is also steel heavy. Oh, shoot. I'm going to run it all the way up through the corridors until we arrive at the back end here. And then this will all be connected like that. Actually, I don't like that there. Let's go here. And then I should be able to finish sealing this room off without too much issue. And this will automate our steel for the time being. Anyways, oh, gas? Yeah, exactly. So one of the issues with like any hobby, and it's not just cameras and photography, but it's like anything, it's gear acquisition syndrome. And a lot of it's influenced by influencers online, where you'll watch a YouTuber who does something and you want to do that, and then you look at the equipment that you need, and you know, they always say start with something basic, but then you get envious of the high-end equipment. So you're like, I'm gonna buy the high-end equipment, but I can't afford it. Let me think about it. Are you gonna go into debt to buy that equipment? Do you really need that equipment? It's things like that. It just you end up on this gear treadmill that just never ends. And so you end up with what's called gear acquisition syndrome. That is very much a real thing, and you have to consciously avoid falling for that pitfall. It's very easy to be like, oh man, this person has this thing, I want that thing, let me spend copious amounts of money to acquire that thing. It is a trap. It is a very, very easy trap to fall into, and you must be wary of falling for it, is all I can say. Okay? Do your best to not fall for it, comrades. Do not fall for the gear acquisition syndrome trap, or you will just be like, things. Do I really need thing? How badly do I need thing? Oh, there's no way to... Oh, shoot. There's no way to there's no way to copy settings off of one of these so I can make all of them have the same setting. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Oh, wait. I have an idea. Since they're connected, but okay, I have a really janky idea for now. So what I'm gonna do is, because we already have the ship here, why don't I just connect the ship's network? I feel like that's a very easy way to just kind of get this going, considering this is only steel. Yeah, I think that'll work. I'm not sure if that'll work. If you're broke, then that's a whole different problem. Then in which case you're definitely not getting any new gear if you're broke. It's a whole separate issue that I cannot help you with, and I hope you survive being broke, I guess. I'm not gonna be one of those people that are like, being broke is a choice. No, it's not. Some people are just broke. Sometimes that's just literally how it is, okay? Well, oh, hello, can you not go outside, please? And not... Okay, so... Why are you outside? Where in the world were you about to go with that batch of steel? Okay. Oh, you know what I bet? I bet he was about to go over here and try to, like, fill it in when he shouldn't be. That's fine. Oh, because it's the supply conduit. That's why it's, like, outside. In that case, why don't we not do that? And why don't we move this right there? And that should, in theory, connect everything. And maybe that will solve our component issue. Basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get these hooked into the grid as quickly as possible. Which shouldn't be a problem. Oh my gosh. Infidave's dying of both muscle parasites and fibrous mechanites. How do you keep dying? How goes the tunnel? Well, the tunnel is... Well, it's there. I'm trying to work on expanding various aspects of our little base here. How are you doing, Rachel? Look at this. Isn't it great? We're getting bigger and stronger over time. Didn't I have a bench to make rocks, or did I get rid of that by accident? I may have gotten rid of that by accident. I also need to run power down here. There is power down here. Or not yet. I guess not. Okay. But yeah, we're slowly expanding our little facilities. It's a little rough, but we're getting there. Trust me, we're gonna try to use our cool weapons. You might have noticed, look, we got bullets. We got lots of them ready to go. The main thing is this room's also really cold, so we need to give it some warmth at some point, but not really necessary. Let's get steel crates, I guess is fine. But yeah, we're gonna try to automate some parts of the station through Rimdustry and just kind of see what we can do with this. One of the main issues, again, is just we just don't have a lot of steel, and we're ripping through our steel supplies very quickly. So my goal is essentially have these all hooked together so that I can do something like this. Do until we have 100 and... how much is in a stack? What are these set to? Until we have 175 components at any given time, because you can stack up to 75 each, right? I don't know. Not to do these all manually, but having 175 should be fine. Just gotta do this on all of them is the problem. And I can't copy this. Yeah, I think they still aren't... oh! Is it this tile? Oh my goodness, that's really annoying. So I can't actually grab that... okay, hold on. I need you to dismantle this wall real quick. Build this wall. Okay, and then let's rebuild that tile back. What other steel tile is missing? Or... should be all hooked up now, right? I'm doing pretty good all otherwise. I have my water, and I am just yapping away about random things. I was yapping about cameras earlier. But yeah, I probably want to turn one of the channels on Discord into a this is where I post the photos that I take type thing. Although one of the concerns about that is that I might accidentally dox myself depending on where I'm taking those photos. So maybe I'll just leave that as a travel thing when I'm taking photos when I'm not at home, if that makes sense. I do not have any desire to accidentally dox myself, as you may know. Oh, look at that. They're all working now. Look at all the components. We're gonna have so many components as long as we can keep feeding this thing copious amounts of steel. Oh, it's gonna be beautiful. The only thing is we're gonna need more miners, I think. We're gonna need probably another set of plasma miners. The other main thing is advanced fabricators are very expensive, so we need to wait until we can get more of those going, but these each require 4 advanced components each, and that's surprisingly expensive. The other thing too is we're gonna need more... we're gonna need someone to sit down here and make reinforced concrete mix, but that is a very, very annoying thing to do, and I don't think anyone in our colony really wants to do that, so... and there's not really a way to make that a priority, surprisingly. Well, I think there is, but I just don't know which one of these options is to make it a priority. Okay, so this other room here, we're gonna use for other things, mostly to expand the oxygen facility. But even with all this auxiliary plant crop, it is still not enough oxygen that we are producing. We are still in a mostly net negative, I think. So just keep that in mind if I'm ever complaining about oxygen. And right now, our food is mostly supplemented by having lots of rice crop, but we do have a lot of meat. But it's not going to be enough to keep us fed for forever. Also, this person just never bothered to convert. Like, she's so into mankindism despite having cat ears. I don't know. She's a traitor to her cat kind. So that's a her fault thing. I forgot Ray is also like the only other person who doesn't have cat ears aside from Alana, because Ray has rabbit ears and Alana is basically the human caretaker of a bunch of feral cats. So don't think about it too much. Just kind of accept the weird lore that we have. We'll do a leader speech in a bit so I can go use the restroom. That's usually a good time. You're the crazy cat lady taking care of everyone. Exactly. It's the job that you signed up for. Unwittingly. Oh my goodness. I love seeing this. Oh my goodness. We have so many components now. It's beautiful. Oh. Now I just need more. I just need another auto fabricator advanced. The problem is that it requires so many standard components, and that's like the main issue. I made 12 auto fabricators over here. Is it unnecessary? Probably. But is it fun? Yes. Actually, there's more than 12, yeah. Immortal's right. I don't know. I didn't really count. I just kind of made a line of them and said this is probably okay. And then I forgot that each of them require 2 advanced components each, and I forgot to make more like actual advanced fabricators. So we may be in a bit of a pickle with that. So I might actually cancel this last one for now until I can build the regular auto fabricators here. Trust me, this is all part of my grand master plan to have all the materials I need. The only, like, legitimately the only thing I need is more advanced components. There's no way to make this faster, which is also kind of tragic. And then obviously down here, I could order advanced components, which I might actually force that in a bit right now because we need a lot of these. So I might just have someone sit here and make me some components. So we have 2 on the ship for standard fabricators. There are 13 plus 1, so that'd be... Well, once I put this last one in here, that'll be 14, so that'll be 16 standard fabricators. And then we'll have 4 advanced auto fabricators as well, once I can get the 16 advanced components that is a prerequisite. As for steel, we have these steel miners that are working 24/7 to just keep slapping out more materials. And eventually I will have it feed into our grid here, but these also require materials that I just don't have right now, but eventually I will. Unfortunately, making AI machine frame components, whatever, does consume, well, components, so that's kind of why. I'm trying to automate things, okay? We're embracing automation, as we should, as members of the future. Oh, shoot, that's the wrong way. I think I might have made that one go the wrong way. God, I want to play Factorio now. But I know people don't want to watch Factorio. That's the only reason I don't stream Factorio. Yeah. Yeah, maybe one day I'll play more Factorio, but I also understand it's not everyone's cup of tea, so I'm not going to force people to see such heinous gameplay. Can I have someone... Wait, missing stone chunks. Yeah, I have an idea. Let's order a bunch of these hauled in automatically. Or just now, so we can get it out of the way. Especially the sandstone ones, I think, are probably important to just move. So we can maybe turn that into materials. Alright, I'm gonna do that, and then... I could have sworn I had another stonecutter table. Where's the other one? I swear I had a second one. Oh, it's right here. Oh, wait, Havel's already doing it. Fantastic. Maybe we want to make some reinforced concrete there. I think that's probably a little bit more important. We'll do this until we have 2,000, I think is fine. Probably 1,000 is fine. We have a lot of Vaxstone. We might as well make use of the Vaxstone. I know the Vaxstone could be used to make more rubble, which we will be using at some point as well, but that's a little less of a priority. We can just do that here. Do this forever. After we have enough concrete mix, should be fine. And then, yeah, that should be good. Because this is making H3, which we're using. And then we have multiple batteries that are getting full. I'm actually going to crank this up a little bit. Let's crank the reactor up to maybe 70% is fine. All right, fantastic. So the reason we're cranking up the reactor is so that these batteries can get filled up even faster, because these will hold 64,000 kilowatts of power, which means I should be able to shut off the reactor temporarily, so I can, you know, refill it or repair it and then keep going. So everything I do does have logic to it. It just might not be immediately good logic, is the copium that I'm going to go with for what I'm doing. All right, I do need to use the restroom, so let's run a leader speech. And you can all gaze at everyone talking about how cool living on NEKOGRAD is, because NEKOGRAD is super cool and stuff. I'll be right back. Speaking of my hot pot addiction, I actually haven't had hot pot in probably a month now. Or might have been 3 weeks. Actually, I think it's 3 weeks. So never mind. I actually probably had hot pot within the last 4 weeks. I can't say that's not my natural habit. That I really do live in soup. My entire body is soup. It's crazy. It's like, okay, so the thing is, I've been slowly trying to not consume soup every single day because I know it's not healthy. It's a very good way to get sick and get, you know, have high blood pressure. So I'm trying to slowly not do it as much. I used to eat soup every single day. Now I'm like, all right, let's lower how much soup I consume. Also, hello, Prophet and Airman's already here. And Steve, how are you doing? We can do a we can do a party now too. I think when all the pawns wake up, we'll run a quick party. By the way, we also need to figure out temperature in the station, because you might have noticed there's no, like, the temperature is just kind of out of whack right now. So what I need to do is I need to set up a area where I can figure out water utilities. And I think this entire facility here is just this entire section is kind of be like my water utilities room, because it's big and I think it's fine. So we're going to do exactly that. We're going to convert this room into utilities, because we need heated water. So the easiest way to make heated water is to slap down a bunch of where is it called? Electric boilers. We could do solar heaters, but I'm not sure if I really want to have solar heaters, even though we're in space. I think it's just easier to just slap down electric boilers and call it a day. So what I'm going to do is exactly that. I'm just going to put down like 3 of these, probably, or 1, 2, 3. We'll do 4 of them. Oh, did it not go? Uninspiring leader speech. All right, well, she tried. Well, nothing bad happened at the very least, which is good. So we'll just try again and we'll do the other one. It's not a big deal. What do you think, though? Do you like how well our space station is developing? I think right now it's just a matter of, can we have enough resources to add more? Steel is basically going to forever be our little issue that we're going to have, because we're just never going to have enough steel. And we'll keep trying to make more steel, but you can already see that we've kind of already ran out. And I think it would actually behoove us to build at least 1 more plasma drill. But the problem is that the plasma drill requires a lot of resources. Namely, it requires 1,000, you know, steel in the first place. On the other hand, these things are just kind of running around the clock at max speed, so it's also not that big of a deal. I can't really make it go any faster. It's already maxed out at 300% speed. So it's quick, and it's just gonna take some time. I don't think these will trigger a bug breach, but if it does, we may need to think about security as well. But for now, this is a perfectly reasonable option. Okay, so here's the thing I wanted to do. So this is steel. Oh, okay, so clear all steel, and then clear all. Whoa, steel only. Okay, so I don't think these filters are working the way I think they're supposed to work. How do I make this rotate the way it's supposed to? Clear all steel. Okay, and then clear all steel. Hail Xeon. We're not hailing Xeon or any of those other ones. This is all to the glory of NEKOGRAD. I don't think this game likes it when I'm putting this many filters next to each other. I don't think it's supposed to work like that. Yeah, I'm starting to think that maybe this is not going to work the way I thought it was going to operate. Because the other way this is supposed to work too is I'm going to move this crate over here. And then I have to put down... I have an idea. So we're going to have Havel move this real quick. Havel should be able to do this real easily. Kind of haul that, move that over there, and then slap down 2 more like this. And then I'm gonna have these built very quickly, since we have the materials right there. Perfect. Okay, so that did not work the way I thought it was going to work. Okay, so this is very high priority. Okay. So when this thing mines steel, we should see the steel go into the conveyor belt and flow into one of these, but then skip over this unless it's unless this is completely backed up. Let's see if it does exactly that. This thing's almost done. Let's take a look. All right, steel. Oh, perfect. All right, it went exactly where it was meant to go. Very pleased. So now we've got our steel supply. Basically, the main idea of this entire endeavor is to automatically fill up the... I cannot click this other thing in the back there. This is to basically automatically fill up these supply shelves so I don't have to keep filling them up as we need to get more components, right? By the way, we have an advanced auto fabricator now, so I'm going to set this to make until I have 50. 50 advanced components is probably more than enough for our purposes. The only thing that's obviously going to kill us at some point is this is not a planet with infinite plasteel. Or this asteroid does not have infinite plasteel, so at some point we will need to find a way to get more. And before you ask, no, we cannot plasma mine more plasteel. It's basically just steel, which is fine for now, but it is something to keep in mind as we try to get more and more materials as we need for future endeavors. But at the very least, we know we have 2 of them working around the clock to make more components. And we are making all the other things that we need, including concrete and whatnot. You cannot manufacture plastic. I do not actually have a mod to let you make it. The one that I used that allowed you to do that was Rimworld, and I'm not running Rimworld. I'm sure there's other options, but I can't be bothered. Let me drink my water real quick. Yeah, that's kind of the main thing to keep in mind, but it should be fine. I do like my factory mods in Rimworld, although I know not everyone's really fond of it, but for me, I find it very enjoyable. Because I think, realistically, real people would try to find ways to automate mundane tasks like digging rocks out of the wall and steel, right? And obviously we can't give our pawns equipment like drills and whatnot, even though it'd be kind of cool. So, you know, we work with what we got. I think Rim Factory is just kind of a nice way to do that. Now, I've not really made super good use of Rim Factory's options, but I think I've done enough for it to at least be somewhat enjoyable to utilize. That's also true too. Yeah. Like if we're playing Satisfactory or Factorio. Oh, did you see that Satisfactory is getting like a new update or something? I saw that. They're like, hey, you like randomization? We're adding randomization to Satisfactory. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I don't play Satisfactory, but hey, more power to the Satisfactory players who enjoy the game. I'm trying to stop people from attracting insect. Oh, you know what? That's true too. You know, that makes a lot of sense when you say it like that. I never really thought about it that way, but yeah, I could see that being the case. Okay, let's put a hospital here. So every hospital bed requires 5 components, which is fairly expensive, honestly. But I think it's perfectly fine to just kind of slap a few of these down. Universal auto crafting is fine. We're not really going to use that, but I would like Sworn holographic storage. That's not sure if we need that, but that's okay. So, you know what? Hold on. Since we have the resources, why don't we make each of these beds like a little more premium? Hold on, if I put this much space in between each bed, every single bed could have their own IV stand and their own vitals monitor, and we just put a singular vital center like right. Oh, you know what? This is actually not a bad idea. I kind of like that. It's so inefficient. It's so inefficient, but it'll look nice. It'll look really nice. What are we doing with the all Oz? I'm just saying it's an option. Oh no, I know you can have them share, but I'm saying what if we make it have its own individual purely for aesthetic purposes? Like legitimately it's just purely for aesthetic purposes. It's completely unnecessary, but I'm like, no, it's not the worst idea. Yeah, exactly. Hello, Xanth, how are you? 30 stream watch streak. Congratulations. Before you ask, I cannot send you the world save. I know you want the world save, but I probably will not be able to give it to you as much as you desire it. Mostly because it's a big file. It's a big file. I'll give you the seed if you really want the seed. I just have to remember how to pull up the seed, which I think I have to go log into the server or something. So just give me a bit for that, maybe after stream. I know there's like a lot of other things people have been asking, because I know like Skylet was asking for like my template for the Star Sector mod that lets me add like a player portrait, so I need to do that at some point. Yeah. By the way, we're gonna have 3 more people live in space too. As long as we have enough steel for these projects. Actually, you know what I should have done? I'm gonna move this one right over here. The other thing I forgot to do, the reason why we're doing all this effort, is I need to actually set up a heating system, which is going to require, yet again, more steel. Because the entire colony does not actually have any... Oh wait, I have an idea. Can I just do this? This bucket fill has not worked for a very long time, which is kind of annoying. It only works sometimes on walls that you yourself build. So I can at least pipe all this with hot, steaming material. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I will do that when I get a chance. Basically, not right now, because I'm obviously not on the server as we speak, and I don't want to log in the middle of me playing, you know, something else. There we go. I think this will be fine. Look at all the heating pipes. So this way, there's going to be nice, toasty air flowing in. Because why use... We'll just use radiators. It's a time-tested temperature management option, so why not, right? But we can add a towel rack. Oh, wait, add a towel rack, like, right there. Ooh, would it make more sense there? I think it would make more sense here. Yeah, let's do that. Ooh, towel racks? So they can have some nice creature comforts up in space. So the main thing I need is I don't have enough reinforced concrete floors. And our pawns don't really want to manufacture these because it's kind of a pain in the butt to do so. Not to mention the steel is kind of far away, so... You know. Once again, a lot of this is just working what we got. Actually, now that we're at least getting a decent amount of steel and uranium. And as long as the fabricators are still working around the clock, that's literally all I care about. Eventually, they will make so much I don't need to worry about it. But for now, this one also needs to be up until I have 75, or 50. It's not even connected yet either. God, these things require so much material. I need like 2 more, and then maybe this will be fine. But I'm gonna be sad when this is definitely, I think, one of the longest, highest tech runs we've done. We don't usually do a lot of high tech runs. We usually typically end around industrial era, but it is kind of nice to have. Well, just kind of seeing this, honestly. It is kind of a sight to behold. We even have like spare undersuits. Like how, like that's super rare. We've never really had a point where we just have a lot of these extra ones hanging around. The only other thing I could maybe start making here would be specialty suits, but I don't really care for this run. And plus the pawns are meant to be in their special NEKOGRADian uniforms whenever they can. The only thing that would be kind of useful would be this remote artillery designator. Or any of the guns. Or a lab coat. Everyone should... Lab coats make everything cooler, right? But alas, it's not that big of a deal. I will say, I think next time, though, if we're doing another colony with large quantities of people, I will probably install colony groups again, just so I can group pawns into small teams and also color coordinate them. I think that was something I enjoyed doing previously, but we haven't done that in a while, so something to keep in mind if I ever, you know, if we ever do another large pawn colony. Yeah, because I liked having like the little, you know, color coordination between different pawn groups. Oh my goodness, another auto fabricator. We're finally gonna make more components. It's happening. You know what? We can probably make another mech suit. Should we make one more? Just for the sake of making one more? Or should I make it? I think I need another miner, actually. So the main thing is this needs 10 advanced components and a bunch of AI chips that are also very expensive. So at the very least, we're looking at like maybe 15. So we need 4. That's 14 advanced components. And then... yeah, 14 advanced components total. We have not enough. But right now, we still have enough steel to last us for quite a bit. I think, maybe? I don't know, as we're filling the pipes in, we may or may not have to go back into the surface. Because these can only work so fast. Realistically, I could probably just add, like, more miners. If I add, like, say, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, that might be okay. Should we land at a... Should we land at this advanced or abandoned orbital platform and go smack a few bad guys around? Maybe we'll take the mech suit along with us too, just for the sake of bringing it along. I don't know if I can fit it in here, but we'll try. I think that could be kind of entertaining to maybe give it a shot. I think we might save that for towards the end of the stream, rather than right now. I want to just keep building this. This run has definitely turned into like a nice city builder aesthetic. And we're just kind of relaxing, slowly making things get nicer over time. To about 50. Alright, and then Immortal finishes it up. Right. Okay, now this one can also start working until 50. There we go. So many components. It's beautiful. Oh. The only thing is that, yeah, we need more steel. But thankfully, these are working around the clock. Now that we have that, I think what I could probably afford to make one of these. So, one machine frame and one AI chip. So that's going to require... I think it was the advanced machine frame, one advanced AI core, one robotic arm, and this one does require at least one basic AI chip. So that's even more components, but that's fine. Someone will make that. That's okay. And that will rapidly accelerate our steel production. Or, yeah. The other thing, too, is every single one of these rooms are freezing. Ideally, a pawn should be able to live on this station naked. Like, the goal is someone should be able to live here without any clothes on, and that would be the ideal situation. The problem is that, well, it's freezing in space. It's negative 60 centigrade in all these bedrooms because I haven't bothered to heat it up. So everyone has to sleep in their spacesuits, and they probably haven't had a proper shower in some time, so why don't we fix that? Let's fix that. So first of all, these are also not hooked up to the water network, which is kind of the problem. So let's run water pipes basically through most of this area, and that should kind of get us started. Thankfully, with a large quantity of builder pawns, they're able to at least slap down the pipe network as quickly as they see it. So they can get that taken care of fairly quickly. Assuming there's enough steel, of which we are running out very, very quickly. Oh yeah, that's gonna run out fairly quickly. That's okay. The other thing too is I do want to start moving these auto fabricators maybe off the ship and leaving them here on the station. Basically, the goal right now would be to slowly transform the main ship into a weapons platform and leaving all the cool production facilities in the station. I think that would be the ideal goal if I were to do this long term. I know I said today's the finale, and it probably will be the finale, but I know some people probably wanted to see this go on just a little bit longer. But I do kind of want to start a new Rimworld adventure. I was thinking about doing technical map vehicles again. I'm not gonna lie. I know Grav Ship is basically the better version of technical map vehicles, but I saw that the technical map vehicles, or whatever it's called, vehicle map framework mod, does support just using the Grav ship as a basis. And I'm like, I'm kind of intrigued. But I also understand that that mod was like super janky and it's kind of hard to navigate around, so that's kind of the reason why we don't really use it. But it's kind of a cute thing to think about. Maybe one day. Because Grav ship wheels might be a little silly. Yeah. So I'm always open to suggestions for future colony runs if anyone's ever got any cool concepts. But make it a good concept and not just like haha funny. You know, like I downloaded that isekai mod, but I highly doubt I'm ever gonna use the anime isekai mod, because I looked at it and I'm like, I don't think I need my pawns to have skills that go up from like Z, like, you know, from F to S, like it's one of those, well, it's an isekai thing, because I have opinions on yeah, You need to throw the mechanical conglomerates of the inner sphere. What does that mean? I have to go to war with the Empire? I mean, I could. If I was like super spacer tier level, or maybe I had better tactics. There's always an option. Fling a couple nukes their way and call it a day. We did that in the previous NEKOGRAD run. We built a nuke and we called it a day. We won. The only winning move was when you got to the nuke. I am running out of steel very quickly. Oh my goodness, our steel supply is dropping rapidly. We don't need this, I think. I don't think I need these pillars, right? Or is this room gonna collapse? I do not remember what the size of a room was that you need, where you need to have pillars before it starts falling apart. Hopefully this is fine. I do not recall. We still have enough meat, right? Yeah, we're still okay on foodstuffs. Is this a reference that I'm not understanding? Are you making references that I just don't get? Ooh, we're running out of steel quickly. Thankfully, we are manufacturing. I believe that is the advanced... No, that's the large machine frame. Then we need to make the advanced AI core. And then we'll be good. Scream all you want into the void. No one can hear you in space as you scream. Speaking of space, I still need to read Project Hail Mary, but the movie's coming out like this weekend, I think. It might be one of those weird situations where I end up reading, or I might end up watching the movie before I read the book. I haven't read like a full book in quite some time, honestly. I think last time was... What was the last thing I read? I don't remember. I don't want to do a melee only run. Well, actually, I can't say Starter Town was primarily melee only. But I don't know, actually melee only, I could see it being kind of fun, but I'd prefer it if all the other factions were also melee only and we didn't have to deal with the mechanoids. Then I could see that being kind of enjoyable, right? But like, I prefer to fight on even footing rather than having one enemy being overpowered and I have to figure out how to deal with it. Why is Infinity still dying of miscellaneous things, by the way? Oh, I forgot. I was gonna give him like a new leg at some point, but I kind of forgot. Well, he'll have to live with it. He'll have to live with his fake legs instead of his real legs. Okay. The new plasma drill is almost ready. What is happening here? Oh, I know what this is. I think that's rubble. All right, let the rubble in. There we go. Okay, so now the steel. The steel is flowing, similar to how spice flows, etc., etc., etc. I mean, we did a samurai run previously. We've done samurai runs before. I didn't mind them, but I think they were... I didn't like doing them too long. Remember when we did the onsen colony? That was the samurai-themed run, but one of the biggest issues you run into, you get permanent injuries very quickly, and you can't really heal them. When you get to spacer level, oh, you can just make the injuries go away with enough resources, but in a medieval run, like, every injury is permanent. You gotta really be careful, especially how often, like, we get attacked, too. So that was kind of, like, the biggest problem. You know what, I'm also kind of tempted to do a, I did like the Winston Waves run. Those were kind of enjoyable, even though we haven't done that in a while, too. But I also remember them being a little janky of some kind. This thing just needs one advanced AI core. Are we making that right now? We already made it. Someone's just got to bring it over and then put it down and then build me my new drill. And then we will have infinite power, infinite resources, a daycare. You know what? I wouldn't mind doing a daycare run. Like, you could start with, like, let's say 2 pawns, and they have to take care of everyone, and then every other pawn is like a child that you have to raise up. I would probably increase aging rate by, like, I don't know, probably by 8x, just to make it not so slow. But I could see that being kind of enjoyable, also just full of chaos, and probably require a lot of mechanoids, like a mechanator to take care of all the kids, rather so that they can also handle like the side tasks until the kids are old enough to do work. Also, I just realized this room is now unroofed. Yikes. I'm pretty sure it's because yeah. So you do need a column in the middle here. That's really annoying. In that case, we'll put a simple column. Actually, just put a steel wall right there. And let's get rid of this table. I don't like these tables. They're ugly. They're disgusting. Be gone with these terrible little bits and baubles. Okay. Okay, there we go. Oh, you know what? I bet you Oh, you know what? I think this this overlay, this weird textural overlay, is not only the vacuum, but it's also the lack of temperature. I think if I fix the temperature in each of these, it would probably fix the that weird texture overlay. I'm fairly sure that's actually what it is, because this room doesn't have it or doesn't really have it anymore. What is that? A meteor? Oh my god, that meteor. That meteor, which I don't think any of you bought, kind of came very close to destroying my hydroponics room. Please don't destroy my hydroponics room if you can. I like to have my hydroponics around. Okay, here we go. Mine steel, do forever. And then output it right there. And then we will also crank this up to max speed. So now I have 3 drills working around the clock to produce as much steel as possible. Although sometimes they're finding things that aren't steel, which is also kind of annoying. But minor problems, I guess. As long as they find steel most of the time, that's what matters. Perfect. So it's 40 steel per unit. The steel immediately gets eaten by the auto fabricators. Oh my god. That's so cursed. Is there no more steel on the map? Have I really gotten all the steel that I could... Yeah, there's none left. Okay. Alright, well that's annoying. Anything... Oh, right, there's a lot of pocket mark craters that I don't really want to take care of. You know what? Actually, hold on. Let's have these get filled in just so that I don't have to look at them anymore. I'll also grab this chem fuel. There's also a bunch of slag chunks that we could easily work with too. Every material counts. Okay. We've unlocked applied energistics with wireless storage, which is the thing that you can do, but we're not going to do that because I don't really need it. Okay, here's our hospital. It functions, it works, it exists. We need more lights. Double light on this side, and then we'll put a light by every single person's head like this. And then once we have enough materials, we'll start putting in the IVs and the drip stands and whatever. And then we'll also need to heat the room up, so it's going to need at least a fairly large radiator, which I think I can put right behind the oxygen pump. Nope. Okay, just kidding. That's fine, I guess. All right, I didn't realize it would remove it. That's annoying. Put that back there, and we'll try to put an oxygen pump. Probably just use a standard size one. I don't think we need the super high-end one. I put it like right there. Should be okay. And then we'll need to fill in that one tile as well with a sterile tile. See, look at it. And every pawn is working. Like, we only have one idle pawn because Sun doesn't really have anything to do right now because everything's cooked and all the research tables are taken up. So, God, this person is almost converted. Any other interesting runs you've got ideas for? We could do... I do want to do Mechanator stuff at some point, but I haven't had a chance to do a Mechanator run. We'll see. Maybe, I know there's been a few other ones that have been on my mind, but I still don't want to do Magic. I think Magic's come up a few times, but every time I think about it, I'm like, no. No, we're not doing MLP. I refuse. I refuse to go that route. I'm so sorry. You're not gonna get me to do anything My Little Pony. You see, I have standards and a certain aesthetic to go to. The only MLP that I would ever play anything would be Equestria at War for Hearts of Iron 4, but that's because that's a legitimately good mod for Hearts of Iron. Like, unironically, that's one of the best mods to have ever come out. Highly recommend playing it. Why is this not hooked up? Is this thing really not hooked up to any of the grids? Okay. Also, one of our cooks is incompetent and keeps giving people food sickness for some reason. Not many people are able to cook, though. It's very odd. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, I really like that mod because it's still World War II, but just with a fantasy element to it, and it's really well done. So that's why I think a lot of people are perfectly fine with that mod in particular compared to a lot of other ones that are out there. Also, this entire ship, this entire base is super yellow. I don't like that. We're gonna copy this color. Just gonna make all these lights bright. Oh god, it's recalculating. Okay, so apparently pasting a color to 137 lights all at once is not a good idea, because it had to recalculate how bright everything should be. Alright, there we go. That looks like a proper space station with lots of white lights. It should be just like fluorescent lights everywhere. And I think we've accomplished that. Okay, so this room's temperature is slowly correcting itself. It's still negative 30 something, but I think given enough time that should stabilize to a much higher temperature. We got to start figuring out how to get the rest of the rooms up as well, especially because there's a lot of demand. So we're gonna crank these up to 4. This room might legitimately need another radiator, or if I just need to start irradiating, I start putting radiators in all the other rooms. This one definitely needs one. You can definitely fit one here. Probably don't need the large ones, but I think the large ones are okay. And then I think what I'd also like to do is I'd like to put a double door right around here to kind of separate this room from all the other areas, because this is essentially going to turn into the quote-unquote dining hall, general entertainment facility. It's kind of where people have to just kind of vibe to survive, that type of thing. Okay, this is not working at all. So I guess you cannot actually put this like this. You can't just stack them. It actually will complain. That's kind of annoying. Oh wait, it's because this thing was in the way. This astrofuel optimizer was in the way. Okay. So I think now it will sort correctly. Oh my god, look at this. I'm a genius. All the steel we could possibly need. If we can just build a few more of these things, everything would be perfect. I guess we're about to move in here, make it more comfortable. Plants between medic beds. Yeah, we're gonna make it more comfortable. The idea is that this should be a comfortable long-term place to live if we can get the resources to do so. Now, unfortunately, because I wanted to end this colony today, we're not gonna actually see what it could truly be like. Although I could maybe just God mode it at the end and just be like, all right, here's what it could be like in an alternate reality where the professor stopped being lazy and actually finished the colony all the way through to the end. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Perfect. Put some lights on the other side too, just to kind of give it that bright vibe, very bright core aesthetic. Especially because we have a lot more of these things going around as well. A lot of the pawns still live here, by the way. It's just these rooms aren't even heated up yet, so I need to obviously build radiators in every single bedroom. So I think what I do would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then furniture. Probably just grab... We already have end tables. What else do they need? A wardrobe? I guess they can have a wardrobe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, is there a difference in using wardrobes and using dressers? Wardrobes cost more and they have higher beauty. Okay. We'll do dressers. I kind of like the dresser look. It's a little smaller. 2, 3, 4. Perfect. 5, 6, 7. Next time on Professor's Life, Rim Pace 5, exactly. It feels like you end these too soon. I feel like I probably do end these a little too soon, but I'm also someone who enjoys trying out other colony types, and that's probably like why it feels like we're ending soon. Why, would you like to see this colony continue more, Ranu? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I mean, I'm not opposed to it. Maybe we can come back to it later or continue it longer, but I definitely want to try some other colonies. That's why I enjoy, like, I think for me, when I play Rimworld, I think my favorite part about Rimworld is like the early game. Like when you're struggling to survive and you're like building out that initial layout and building your initial base. That's to me the most fun part. That's why I like doing new colonies. Long term, I think I could definitely enjoy too, but I just don't do it nearly enough, and that's kind of the problem too. I don't know how to make this work correctly. This thing is not working the way I want it to. I don't know where to put this astrofuel optimizer. There's not really any space to put this in anywhere. I don't know where to put this thing. You like, but what about this? Isn't this a big ship? I think this ship is quite big. I've done a pretty good job with that, I think. I can't feed the rest of the steel. I don't know why it doesn't like this. Is there a way to change the direction of this? There's not. That's super weird. The medium-sized vessel. To be fair, I think at some point I did stop making it bigger. I have materials to make it larger. That's why I have like all this graphite panel, but ultimately I never got around to doing it. Because what I wanted to do was set up an exterior wall of turrets, right? Like just guns that could kill anything. But we've also been at this colony for 5 in-game years, about 6 in-game years, which is probably the longest I've ever really done a colony. Maybe if I ever do that progression pack, we could consider it. Oh my god, she's ready to be converted. She's ready to be recruited. She's converted. All right, let's recruit her. You know, for these streams, that's a fairly long time. You know that. We have very limited time in these streams, so I work with whatever time I have available to me. Still don't know why it's not flowing correctly. It doesn't like this at all. Actually, can I copy this? Copy from... Oh, wait. Oh, geez. I'm not renaming all that. Okay. Wait, there we go. It's flowing. Wait, it works. Oh, my goodness. Look. Okay, so the steel actually flows correctly. Oh, my goodness. Can I build another one? Can I get more steel? If I had enough steel to make another plasma drill, we could really get some hardcore expansion going. Instead, I'm using all my steel to make dressers because the people need places to keep their clothes. All right, we're gonna move some other people in here. We're gonna move in. All right, we're gonna give this one to Ray. So Ray lives on the Ray lives on the station permanently. Actually, I have an idea. We're gonna move this one to Alana. We're gonna move Ray over here. Okay, wait. I think it said Alana's got a husband in X layer, so I guess we'll move them into the same bed. And then who else are we moving in? I think Sonia gets to be on here, and so does Comrade Anya. Should probably live in the space station as well. I think that would be the most appropriate solution. Yeah, so the temperatures have stabilized. 1, 2, 3, and we have a new recruit. Their name is Sarah. I hope they get their state-mandated uniform, or else they're gonna explode to death. So, unfortunately, she will need to stay on the ship for the foreseeable future. I need 3 more helmets. Helmet. Need more NEKOGRADian vac suit helmets. I need like 3. Give me 4 more of these, and that should be fine. We are also just kind of keeping an eye on our food, so keep that in mind as well. But yeah, I think this has gotten quite nice. The only thing I didn't also get to do was build a security system, so what I wanted to do was use the eccentric... I think it's under security, right? Defense grid console. I want to put a defense grid console and maybe throw in a few shield projectors in here and maybe some automatic turrets. But you might have noticed these things require... Wait. Oh. I didn't realize this had to be built on gravship substructure. Alright, we're not putting M64 rail turrets, unfortunately, but we could put in uranium slugs and other turret varieties to kind of pretend like if anything ever tried to land, we could kind of blast them out of space, right? It's about playing pretend with the aesthetics, but at the very least, we can probably add a defense grid console. You know, maybe it's not, I just realized it's not even. We can put one here. Am I actually out of steel? Oh my god, I'm actually out of steel. Wait. What the heck? Oh, hello. Okay, I would like to not allow rubble on here anymore. And then I'm going to quickly kick all the rubble out of this. Oh no, the rubble's going where does it? It's not supposed to be going. Oh no, it's okay, I see the problem. Okay, I have an idea. Build another crate. This one, important rubble, goes in here. And I need Ray, who's already over here, to build this immediately. If she can. I don't think she can build it, but someone can build it. We have a lot of rubble because we've been using the helium-3 extractor for a while, so just kind of need to get that done. Okay, Mortal will build this, right? Please build me this thing. So I can get all this rubble out of here. I don't want this on here. Or that uranium. Get all that out of there. Come on. Oh my goodness, there's so much material that has to be sorted through. It's fine. We'll fix this slowly. The other reason we're also setting up a supply network is that way this can actually be used. So when a pawn sleeps here, we can get their gear repaired automatically. But that's a bit of a problem for later, as we obviously can't do that right now. Oh, that's really funny. It's just kind of feeding into the... Okay. I see the problem. Okay. Yeah, so at least by having a supply chain set up, we can have their gear repaired as they sleep, as long as we can feed it with enough cotton and whatnot. By the way, oxygen is still a problem. I have to at least keep an eye on our O2 supplies, but I think we're at least somewhat O2 neutral. We're not O2 positive, but we're definitely O2 neutral. Because with these algae oxygenators and having... I think legitimately for this size, you would need this entire room filled with auxiliary hydroponic basins, which is a lot. And I don't know if I want to go through that much effort. However, I will use our concrete mix to add more concrete flooring. I like the reinforced concrete look, so we're gonna make this room... make this room look nice. Yeah, I think this is actually the correct size, so we'll go... Oh shoot, wrong one. Let's flesh this room out. I want to try to flesh out as many rooms as I can, so that I can say I accomplished it. And I think Infidei is having another organ decay. How is all of his organs just decaying? What's dying this time? Your left kidney. Okay. I have to print him another kidney. His kidneys keep dying. Stop having your kidneys die on us. Turn around, it's just like, all right, hey, my kidney's exploding. It's like, okay. How many more kidneys will it take before you're happy and no longer want to consume our kidneys? Goodness gracious. At least it's not happening to anyone else right now. Let's see, is anyone else missing parts? Obviously we didn't get some of them fully repaired, but hey look, I like that their gear just stays there and it gets repaired as they sleep. Isn't that beautiful? And obviously this is slowly getting applied. That's fine. I don't know why that's slightly orange. I think one of these lamps might not be the correct color. So this room here is supposed to be like a dining hall. What I would like to use is the smart tables. Unfortunately, that requires material that we don't have, also known as steel, because steel is expensive and we are still waiting to dig out more as fast as we can. That's kind of the other issue that we're dealing with, but thankfully, again, these are slapping out as much as they can while our dear pawns rest. The thing I need to do is, there's a tile there that's... I guess that's fine. Yeah. So, yeah, next week we'll do Frostpunk, and then we'll see what else we want to do. By the way, I still haven't decided what I'm doing tomorrow. I will probably put Timberborn on the list of potentials, as well as Maybe we'll do XCOM 2, but I don't have the game installed anymore. And I would need to reinstall it, as well as double check my mod list. And I'd have to do that all in the hour after I get home. I don't think I want to do art. I don't mind doing art, but I'm just like, I feel like art's one of those things that I want to do on my own time. I feel like when I'm streaming art, I feel pressured. You know what I mean? Like I feel pressured to do something good, or else it's not gonna be, you know, cool, fun to look at, fun to watch if I'm just redrawing the same line over and over and over again. Even though I know I can turn art into like a 4-hour yapping session, it still seems quite difficult to do, if that makes sense. So, I don't know. That's the main reason I haven't done art very much in recent times. It just doesn't feel like I'm good enough to really stream it. And I know people just say, oh, but just keep drawing and you'll get better at it. But I also have like a bajillion other hobbies that eat up all my time too. So, you know, eternal struggles. The eternal struggle. By the way, look. This room is stabilized. These rooms are stabilized. So it's really the temperature that's causing that weird texture. If I can just fix all that, then all the temperature problems go away. Okay, what's the next room I need to fix? This room here can definitely get a steel radiator. Okay. So thankfully, because this fact, I want all the rooms in this facility to basically be temperature stabilized. Once again, anyone who's in this station should be able to walk around naked and be fine, which is a little difficult, but we're gonna try to make it work. Especially because I can just keep adding more of these things here. And we need some lights as well. We'll just put lights like here and here, here and there, and that should be enough to fill up our security room. And since we have steel again, we're gonna start putting down the cool bits. Okay, so what I wanted to do is each of these need one IV stand, one vitals monitor, and then, oh, you know what I could add, actually? Do I have it researched? Isn't there like a furniture that's basically like a cloth divider, or am I imagining things? Oh, here, a drape. Oh my god, you need wood to make a drape. What do you mean you need wood to make a drape? Can't I make it out of steel? I feel like a drape would make a lot of sense, right? But it has to be a wooden frame, which is kind of annoying. Hello, Garm. Good evening. How are you, comrade? How are you? What if I just do this, I guess? Yeah, what if we just have like cute little plants in between each one? I'm sure nothing bad will happen from this aesthetic. Let's see. I'm kind of curious to see how this will look. You're existent? Are you commissioning that outfit in the near future that you keep sending me? Like, now that you've kind of gotten, like, ideas of what people say is a pretty good idea? Or are you still kind of, like, hung up on certain aspects? Maybe? Okay. I was just kind of curious. I didn't know if you were like still kind of hung up on various bits and pieces of the overall design, so that's why I was just asking. Curious to see how that'll pan out, though. Hopefully it all goes well as you try to, you know, get that designed. Gonna dismantle this astrofuel optimizer. We don't need no astrofuel optimizer. Give me whatever materials it would have been. Okay, so this room. I want this to be a dining hall. But we have steel and components now, so that's fine. Mostly. There we go. Look at that, we can put flowers. I guess whatever flowers they want to put is fine. There's still some changes to be made? Understandable. Okay. There we go. Umi's also getting better at building. Umi, your pawn was one of the few rare child pawns I've ever fully raised in Rimworld, from a wee child into a fully, mostly grown adult, and has actually gotten really good at various projects. So be proud of your glorious pawn. Some changes to be made. I saw that you got rid of the tie in the second edition of the design, which I thought was kind of interesting. I was like, there's no more tie. Interesting choice. I'm sure there's a reason for said choice. I'm not going to question it. But it was something I did catch. I'm going to add these grav ship shelves. Ooh, a glass shelf might actually look a little better. Look up medicines and stuff in there. Doesn't fit with like a ball gown to tie. Yeah, I could see that. I could see why it probably wouldn't fit. There we go. Look at all this beautiful design. We're gonna get this shelf built as well. We put medicines on here. You're all medicine. How about standard and just grab all the medicines. Whatever we have sitting around is fine. Copy, paste, call that a day. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too familiar with like what ball gowns are supposed to look like, as I have not worn one myself, as I am not the type of person to wear such a thing. But I'm sure there's a lot of people here who might be a little more knowledgeable on the finer details of long dresses. Just feel free to ask. I'm sure someone here would be maybe content with providing some assistance if you show them the design, or share it on Discord. Maybe someone would have more knowledge that way. You know what I mean? Yeah, share it somewhere where people can see it, and maybe someone will have some opinion. I'm not super knowledgeable on the finer details of ball gowns and dresses and whatnot. I want another drill. If I have another drill, we could make more steel. Every drill just makes the steel go faster, right? But it's 1,000. And I only produce 40 every now and again. They also kind of moves a little slow going up there, but that's fine. Oh, orbital debris. Fun! Alright, where's it landing? Okay, so far nothing is hitting our ship. Oh, just kidding. Haha. Our ship got kind of screwed over. Oh, shoot. That's really bad, actually. Hold on, because some of our pawns do not have... You gotta be kidding me. Oh, no. Wait a second. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Okay, these guys have to stay inside now because they do not have helmets. Actually, no. Hold on. I'm gonna get you a helmet. You put on that helmet. And then you have an undersuit, right? Okay, so you can quickly grab a helmet. And then this one has an undersuit, so she should also grab a helmet. So the only one who has to be very careful is the child known as Jessie. Yeah. Okay, so you're fine. Oh, shoot, you need the helmet. And then take that uniform on. And then... Okay, you're free to go, you're free to go, and you're free to go. Perfect, okay. But yeah, I'm curious to see how that pans out. I'm not really too familiar again with like what goes on with kigurumis, but I have some friends that are into kigurumis, and it's always interesting when they explain what they're doing. Oh, there's a crater. Oh my gosh, I can't actually. Okay, you need to fill that in. Oh no, Bashy's gonna die. Hey Bashy, I need you to go inside. Not here. Like, you need to get out of there right now. Where are you going, Bashy? Go inside. What is Bashy doing? I think Bashy might have chosen to explode today. Oh my god. This dog, I swear. Where are you going? Okay, this room is actually sealed. Okay, this is fine. Okay. This is bad. If only the head mater might have an opinion. I mean, I don't know. Maybe one of them would. I don't know if Alana would have an opinion. Ranu might have an opinion if Ranu's around. I know Ranu's probably busy with some other stuff too. I'm not going to say ping them because I'm sure they might be busy with other stuff, but, you know. Like I said, I did like the general design though. I'll say that much. Okay, so I can put that there. And then I need to run... We need to run the pipe again, which is the plumbing. What happened to the plumbing? Wait. Oh, was this all not connected with each other? Oh, this entire thing was never connected with one another. That's really odd. Huh. Okay. Let's undraft you, and let's have... Who's a builder that's on the ship right now? I think Umi is a builder. Umi's playing video games and should be working on fixing my now destroyed wall. Because these dang meteors are just coming in hot. So we've got to fix each of these quickly. The problem is I don't have the materials to do this. God. Alright. I think once we approach the last hour, I think what I'll do is I'll invade that last orbital platform and we'll just kind of see what we can do. We have enough food and stuff to survive for quite some time, so we'll bring a few people. I don't think I'm going to bring everyone. We'll bring just a couple. And I think we will bring the mech suits. I think I can just kind of park them in here and it shouldn't cause too much issue. As long as they have munitions for it, that should be fine. You can actually set an owner for each of these, which is also interesting. Not something I'm going to do, but... Can I actually name it? I don't think I can name this right. No, I can't rename this. But I can assign it to someone. Who do I want this to be owned by? Who wants to have a mech suit? Zoingo's dead and not in the colony, so it can't be Zoingo, unfortunately, tragically. Let's see. Avel, I need you to finish building this part of the wall, and hopefully we can build the rest of this up. Yes, we have mech suits. You like this? Here. You know what, Garm? I'll give you one. So I'm gonna set owner. Okay. I'm not sure how this works, but ideally you should just be able to go over there and put it on. And then you'll be ready to rumble. It comes with a beautiful Gao 90 cannon, which is ripped from the Avatar movie series by James Cameron, and I don't know, it's big, it's got bullets, it kills things, it does exactly what it says on the tin. Okay, I should have made enough components now, so that's fine. Also, Bashy's dying. Infidave's got another organ decay. What is decaying now? Oh no, it's still the same one, right? Okay, well I did make a spare kidney, so I guess worst comes to worst, we could just quickly put that new kidney in Infidave. Yeah, it's not a super nice mech, but it's a functional mech. You don't like the Avatar mechs? Did you ever watch the movie? I actually thought the movies were fine. But I know it's not exactly everyone's cup of tea. You did not enjoy it. Was it the ultra-colonialism aspect or which part of it did you not like? There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just kind of curious if there was like a specific reason why you didn't like the films. Oh, yeah, I kind of want to build another one. We're getting to almost enough steel to make more. I think the next thing we could do would be to automate the crops, which is perfectly reasonable. We have enough plastic to last us for quite some time anyways. Colonel Quaritch is a hero in this household. I don't know about that. Although his alternate forms in the new movies, I will say, I complained about this when I watched the new one, Fire and Ash, but the new Avatar film, Fire and Ash, is basically a rehash of Avatar 2, The Way of Water, just with slightly different villains. Otherwise, the plot's completely the same. You know what science fiction movie you should be looking forward to? I'll tell you what, you should be looking forward to Dune 3, because, boy, I really hope they make him into a... I don't want to spoil it, never mind. But there's some things that happen that I'm really hoping that they do, because it would be really funny if they did it. I don't know if they actually will show it on screen, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna put like a nice dining table like right in this corner. Should I put a 3x3 or 2x4? I think a 2x4 is probably fine. Like a giant, big dining table, like right here. Yeah, we'll do exactly that. We'll put a nice dining table right there, and we'll fit it with some beautiful smart chairs. So we have enough steel to afford this. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can just add some nice temperature management devices. I'll probably get rid of this. Actually, wait, I don't think it happens yet, right? Because it takes Leto 2 before the thing happens, but he doesn't show up until like Dune Messiah, I think, right? And I think the Dune films are basically just for the first book. Yeah. Okay, so maybe it's not gonna happen yet. I think I was mixing the characters up. You're right. I think I'm mixing the characters up. But it's okay. Let's get this built out. Now that we have the materials, they're gonna build this brand new furniture, and then we have to make some nice flooring, but that's okay, because we should get enough concrete mix to get that done. It is a fairly sizable room, though, which so might take some time, but here we go. Now we have a very cool dining table, where all these cool textures are floating about. Once again from the eccentric mod. So we'll have orbital statistics and planets and whatnot. You know what game I haven't played in a while now that I think about it? I haven't played Menace in quite some time. Ever since I reached the Menace in Menace, I actually haven't touched Menace in quite some time. Mostly because there's just like a lot of other things that I want to play. Maybe at some point I'll touch it again. I hear it runs pretty good on the Steam Deck, so I might give it a shot there. I think there are other small bits from other books relevant to story and movies you can read. I don't know. I think there is, yes, because they had the whole plot line with his sister and the genetic memory. That's because of the mother taking the spice melange while she was pregnant. And so I believe they do touch on that a little bit of like, hey, something wacky is happening here. Are you ready for the consequences of your actions? You know, that type of thing. But we'll have to see. I don't think it's like super relevant, or they haven't made it super relevant yet. Let's see here, that's fine. Also, not do anything with those chunks right now. Okay, the ship has been fully repaired, except for the fact that this lamp isn't installed anymore. And for some reason, my toilet isn't connected to the pipelines, so... Should be connected to the pipeline. That's really weird. You need to watch part 2? You should! I enjoyed part 2! I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when I watch a movie, I don't... Like, I understand, like, oh, I've seen I've read the original book, but sometimes, like, I can still appreciate the crazy wackiness that goes on in... Oh, shoot, is this set correctly? I'm gonna lower this down to, like, negatives. I wanna make sure this is a freezing room so that there's no chance of anything happening. But yeah, I like the Dune films. I understand that the movies aren't always going to be perfect and they're meant for mass entertainment, but I don't find anything wrong with that. Mass entertainment is the whole reason why a lot of people consume media, so just be happy and enjoy it. So we're gonna move that's fine. Okay, so here's our smart table. I think what I'm gonna do is we're gonna cover this entire corner with this beautiful reinforced concrete. I probably could move the table over one tile, but I don't care enough. And so this corner will be this table. I might actually move it over one. And then what I could try to do, since we have a lot of steels, I could try to start building the additional housing berths like what I have here. The main issue is that it is fairly tall. I believe these are like 4 tiles high. Oh, they're like 7 tiles high. Okay. This is 17, so I could go 7. Well, let me do the math real quick. So 7. So I could leave me with a 3 tile wide hallway. Or I don't think it actually works that way. I think I actually just max out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We almost max out. Yeah. Yeah, that might be a little rough. But yeah. I think the last thing I watched recently was Bullet Train Explosion. Okay, actually, speaking of movies real quick. I did watch a movie at home recently called Bullet Train Explosion, which is a sequel to like a 1940, I think it's like a 1960s or 70s Japanese film, also called Bullet Train Explosion. And I was actually surprised to see a movie where all of the main characters were basically government officials, and they were not incompetent. Like, they were actually competent at their jobs, and they were solving the problems one step at a time and trying to deal with every single complication to the best of their ability. It was so weirdly refreshing seeing a film where the characters aren't bumbling idiots and someone's dying because of stupid mistakes. Like, people were getting injured, but because they were making mistakes, but they weren't doing the mistakes out of malice or stupidity. It was just more like like a mistake. It was such a weird experience seeing it. I was like, wow, this is definitely different. Yeah, exactly. Like, I was surprised too. I actually like that movie too because I was like, wow, this is a movie about the Shinkansen. I really want to go on the Shinkansen again. I still want to ride the sleeper train, the Sunset Izumo, which is a train in Japan, runs daily that you can take a sleeper car on. If I want to ride it, like I want to ride that sleeper cabin, but there's not really a purpose for me to ride that sleeper cabin if I'm going to Japan with Ray. It's one of those things that you kind of just do if you're by yourself. I know but it's rough. So it was government officials and also like train officials, like what's it called? Like the governing bodies, and there was some politicians in there, and there was a little bit of politicians that were not like maybe not working the way you want them to work, but they were doing technically the best of their ability as well. It really depends on your own interpretation. I highly recommend it. I believe the movie is on Netflix if you have Netflix. Otherwise, I just kind of, you know, found it through some very interesting methodologies involving, you know, some seafaring organizations that may or may not have assisted in finding this thing. So, think of that what you will. Also, I think we should start... Oh, we need to add more of these refrigerators over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this TV probably over here, and we're going to turn this corner into the entertainment hall. And I am going to put various refrigerators for food stuffs here so that pawns can just simply grab a meal and consume it. So why don't we do exactly that? Why don't we put on... grab the refrigerators. We're actually running out of food, by the way, so that is something to keep in mind. Okay, I want to see how this suit looks, by the way. I'm going to have Garm walk in on this mech suit. Alright, Garm, you get to try out your suit. It may not be the one you want because it is a avatar suit, but it functions. Now, did you actually get weapons with... Okay, switch module. Okay, so... Okay. You don't have any bullets with you. You can't pick it up. Okay, so I need to figure out how to do this because you didn't actually pick up munitions. Okay. Okay, okay, so I have to basically swap this to here and set this to 0. But the problem is I can't have you grab the munition because your inventory's full. So why don't we have you put this back on? Okay, why don't we have you go back over here and switch the maintenance gantry. Okay, and then you're gonna put that on, I think. Whatever, just figure out what to do with that later. That's fine. So yeah, I don't know. I have to find a way to like automatically reload this thing because obviously with using combat extended, you know, you need to find a way to load it with munitions, but if you can't load it with munitions, that's a bit of a problem. I'd like to at least send one of these into the conflict, but again, it's just really heavy. Actually, I have an idea. How much do these weigh? Can I have Garm carry like 1 or 2 of them? Okay, so you can carry 32 of these. Oh wait, you can carry 42 of these. And then I can have you go into the maintenance gantry, and then I can have you switch module weapon, reload the thing. I think. There we go. Alright. So the main issue is that this thing unfortunately counts as mass that you're wearing. You did 3 years of work for a government agency in Germany. The hardworking people are the competent, or the exception, most are decent folk, but there's also a lot of rot. I think also like the thing with government positions is a lot of people get into those positions and they believe it's like just an easy ticket to just a casual coasting life, right? Like you clock in, you clock out, and you do the bare minimum and collect that taxpayer dollar to fund your life, essentially. I think that's kind of the issue that I think a lot of people have with, you know, some of these services, that they're basically being lazy, essentially. Now, that's not the case for all services, and a lot of services aren't going to be like that. But I definitely know people who were in government who acted like that. Exactly like that. And it was very dumb. All right, shall we go fight off? Actually, wait, before we do anything, now I need to set up the missile things real quick. So before we do anything, I would like to set up the... I need two things. One, I need a proximity sensor tower. I want one at each end, like this. So that's 4. And then I need to build a few of the targeters. And this is very important. One remote artillery designator would probably be enough. Can I build one here? Yes, I need at least one of these remote targeting designators, and then I'm just gonna give that to someone, and they're going to be able to fire my missiles. Competence does not get you promoted. Ask it. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I hate that so much. I do know what you're talking about. It sucks that that's the modern society. Oh no, we have the tagums. Oh wait. Wait, is that why they're called? Wait, I just realized. Is that why they're called that? Because you're tagging them? Tag M's? Is that? Well, I mean, we have the M36 launchers. We have the PGMs. It's a background joke from Descent. I've been using this mod for so long, and I just realized that it's like, oh, because you're tagging them. Tag-ems. Ha 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 ha. I'm so... God. Why did it take me this long to figure out the joke? There's something called a tag missile. Oh, okay, gotcha. Interesting. Why did that whiskey wave emote take so long to load? Anyways, we're gonna go, I don't know, kill a few people, probably robots, with my beautiful missiles. Because I have 4 EMPs and 4 high explosives ready to go. I think once I can get the... Oh, we already got the remote... Okay. Remote artillery designator has been equipped by Nahil. Just kidding, you're not allowed to have that. I'm gonna give this item to... You know what? I think Comrade Ray has earned the right. Just kidding, she has an orbital mech cluster targeter. I will give it to Comrade... Let's see... I'll give it to Comrade Umi. You, little child, will be the one to bear the orbital remote target designator. That causes point defense on all... Oh, okay. Target acquisition guidance missile. Place the gun. Target acquisition guidance module, because Free Space is a pretty cool game. I don't think I ever played Free Space. Let me take a look. Free Space 2. Alright, let's take a look at what this game is. It's on Steam. The follow-up to the classic Descent Free Space. The Great Wars is ready. Okay, it's one of those space simulations where you're in a ship. Got it. Okay. We have enough food to last us. I think we have enough meals on board to go survive in space for quite some time. So why don't we do exactly that? So, we're gonna leave a few people behind to just kind of keep things going here. So, I think we'll leave Garm, Sweetheart. Ray needs to come with us. Garm, Sweetheart, and Immortal will stay behind. And Airmen. So I need Garm, Sweetheart, Immortal, and Airmen all staying behind. And then everyone else, I want them... Oh, and then... Ouch. Ouch. I need someone on this suit. Garm's staying in space, so it's not going to be Garm using that mech suit. I'm going to give the mech suit to... You know what? Zeoposers earned the right. Sure. You know what? Congratulations, Zeoposer. You get to have the cool mech suit. Okay, I'm just going to have you grab some ammunition, go into the maintenance gantry, and then we'll have you walk over here. I think it'll fit. Because it surprisingly just needs a 1x1 space. Okay. Launch, and then we're gonna go to this orbital platform, which is a little too far. You know what? We're already at the end of the run. We're just gonna cheese this a little bit. Please do not be mad at me. but I want to be able to just fly over there real quick. So just pretend that we had built this earlier. Just gonna slap one of these there. Okay. There we go. That's fine. Okay, then we're gonna launch. Oh my god, it's still... Wait, why is it still out of range? What? Oh, wait. It's because my max astrofuel capacity is actually not that high. That's so funny. I completely didn't think about that. Like, so I actually had the range to go further. It's more I just straight up did not have enough astrofuel this entire time to actually go to where I needed to go, because I never bothered to build more astrofuel storage containers. Well, alright, in that case, we're gonna land somewhat close by, and then why don't we land on the surface as close as we can get, and then we'll fly back over momentarily. We might as well use this as an opportunity to get some food while we're at it, so just, oh shoot, no, okay, cancel, launch, okay. We gotta land as close as we can get, since I can't immediately fly over there. So it'll be at least a 2-hop jump. We'll land probably... this looks good. Sure, and then we're gonna leave behind Citad, Airmen, those two are our melee beaters, Immortal, and I believe Garm was the other one who stays behind. Yeah. Because they should have been drafted, right? Where's Garm? Yeah, everyone else will... Yeah, they're gonna go to sleep. Everyone else will go on the ship. We'll have Zeoposer on the funny mech suit. And we shall continue on our journey to explore until we can go smack around a evil core thingy. And I think that'll be a good finisher for... Oh, those things aren't attached. Okay, in that case... oh, look, these were never here. Oh, that's crazy. Whoa, that's crazy how those things just magically disappeared. That's wild. Whoa. Oh, and it's deteriorating because it's in the vacuum of space. Ooh. Don't think about it, just accept it. By the way, while we're doing this, we're gonna get so much steel so we can keep expanding our production facilities as needed. It'll be beautiful. Exactly, a catastrophic launch malfunction. Oh my goodness, my back is also killing me. I'm turning old, complaining about my back all the time. What's wrong with me? Where have I gone wrong? Anyways, we'll just land temporarily. I need to get Zeoposer out of the suit temporarily, so what I'm gonna do is we have to wait a little bit. Oh, we have the launch was so smooth. The crew is euphoric. Okay, I didn't realize that was a thing that you could do. Okay, so we're gonna put a... I don't know where to put this for now, so I'm gonna put a boarding module, a boarding point like right there for now, just so that Zeoposer can hop out of this for now. Okay. And then, so we'll come back and get that later. You're still standing? What do you mean you're still standing? Wait, how did Infinite get burnt? I don't know how it got burnt. That's really strange. Anyways, you're in space. Look, you'll be fine. You're comfortable up there. Don't worry too much about it. We have to wait until this finishes cooling down, which will be approximately 7 hours. Plus, anyway, we have enough astro fuel ready to go. A lot of our things kind of broke down while we were landing, so it must have been a fairly rough landing. Yeah, I don't care about that. Oh, we actually may not have enough electricity either. Surprisingly, this needs more electricity. Any steel? Any steel on the map? Okay, let's grab that and grab that. Whatever we can get our grubby hands on while we're out here. Perfect. By the way, this poor child that we picked up, yeah, he's not getting an education. Oh, no, the end, it's fine. It was perfectly okay. It was more like they didn't have the grav ship foundation, so they just kind of got forgotten about. Don't worry about it too much. Oh, I just realized it's like 40 centigrade in the ship. That's why they're burning. That makes a lot of sense. They're on fire because it's literally so hot they're gonna burn to death. Yeah. All right. Well, that explains a lot. Also, where's Infodave? I'm gonna give him his. You know what? Let's gift you a kidney. I have to keep giving this man so many organs. It's getting a little ridiculous. Jado rockets for one time. You know what? I could see that being a fairly interesting concept if you really need to get somewhere, if you're willing to build what's the word I'm thinking of? I'm blanking on the words. You know, the thing you can jettison, essentially. There's a jet assisted takeoff. For some reason I thought the O meant something else. Jet assisted takeoff. I think that's what it is. Could be a simple, I don't know how difficult that would be to mod though. I'm not a modder, I can't tell you, but hey, it could be an interesting concept. For some reason I thought the O stood for something else on top of that. Okay, sometimes, you know, we streamers blank out on terminology. Isn't that crazy how that be sometimes? God, there's not enough animals to kill here. Rocket assisted takeoff off. Exactly. You know, let's kill these yaks while we're at it. Or let's kill the musk oxen real quick, and then I'll get us some free food that we can use to go kill additional creatures. There you go. Depots are still using this, like, dinky old thing. I was called Jado all those years when there are actually rockets beyond you. Who knows? You know what we should play? I kind of want to play Kerbal Space Program again. I want to play like a thing where I can just build things, even though they usually go very poorly. I don't know. Should I do CSP again? Or isn't there like a new one, Cat Space Program, since the Kerbal Space Program brand is basically dead? Tragically. It got taken out to the back by 2K and then executed with impunity. It's a shame what happened to that franchise. It had so much potential, then it got murdered. Oh, we never learned how to make carpets. I guess we'll learn how to make carpets now. Okay, I think we're ready to go back into space. I'm just gonna have Z-Poser go hop back into the suit. And then we'll go on our merry way. We got a decent amount of steel, so I'm okay with that. And by decent, I mean like about 2,000 units? We got it all on board already. That's probably enough for now. Yeah. Let's go. Alright, back up into space, and we're gonna go to this abandoned orbital platform. Let's go. I probably should have left the child at the space station, but I kind of forgot. Also, this Sarah Price person that we recruited, since she's now with us, I'm just gonna give her a weapon kit. You know what? I don't think we have anyone using the AT rifle, so I'm gonna have her equip it just so we have someone using it. Yeah, it's fine. After World War II, Jado was often used to overcome 4% early engines, slow speeds, surface, heavy load aircraft take off, propeller engine at Arvo Shackleton when heavy load fuel for long relied on Armstrong's Siddeley Viper turbojets for takeoff. Ah, I think I'm not too familiar again with post World War II vehicles and weapons. I'm very much a World War II nerd. I don't really paid much attention to like Cold War and that interwar period type stuff, even though I know that's like the very popular stuff to pay attention to. All right, let's go see. Let's try our new mech suit, although it doesn't have a lot of munitions, mostly because I have no idea how to actually give it more ammunition. All right, here is this ancient platform. Remember these things that I hate dealing with? Well, we're back at it. We're gonna land, I don't know, I guess here is fine. I don't think it really matters where we land. No turrets, right? Yeah, that's fine, sure. Man, these space adventures are way easier now that we have, oh, I don't know, actual, whatchamacallit, spacesuits so our people can actually go around. All right, we're just gonna go hack all the doors, or hack this one at least. You know what I probably should have? I should have done the mechanoid platform fight, but one, I'm too lazy. And I also need to set up a mech jammer. It doesn't really matter for this run anyways. Let's go and do the thing. So I guess we're just gonna send a heal out because I guess he's ready to go yap at the door until the door opens up. Only Japan got blocked from using some rocket guidance stuff, probably because World War II, you know, post World War II, America's like, all right, Japan, we're gonna neuter your military. Even though, I don't know if you've seen in recent news, but it seems like they might be rearming soon. That is a turret. I'm gonna just have you go away from that. All right, let's go deal with this. All right, so we're gonna have, you have your suit, right? Okay, so we're gonna have you. Let's grab a few warriors to go explore my new area that I want to explore. All right, I'm gonna have this batch 5 should be fine. You know what? I'm also gonna bring Alana as like a backup doctor. Just bring the little overworked doctor maid. I guess have you switch your weapon to this one. Perfect. Let's see. How accurate is this at range? All right, not very. So I don't think I want to waste my ammunition on this. So we're gonna have you not fire at will, and I'm just gonna have everyone just kind of bum rush that turret. Actually, you can rush it too. Everyone rush the turret. It can't kill us all. Oh my goodness, Kefir's getting shot. All right, have the people with shields maybe moving up front first. That might be the better solution. There we go. All right, and then how badly are you injured? That's just your ear. All right, send the overworked maid into tend to that. We have these two just kind of run around and smack the turrets around. And then we're gonna have you run over there. Fine. Oh my goodness, what? Oh, there's a thing there. Hello. Maybe we should have you deal with that too. Did not see that thing behind me. All right, it's dead. All right, these two are fine. Have you run up there. Because I'm lazy and I'm just perfectly content with letting people run up with turrets, and it should generally be okay. Like, look at, like, the shields are basically protecting them. These shields are doing so much work, although Exonia's shield's basically deteriorated. That's a big room. Yeah, well, it's a lot of doors until you realize 3 of the doors lead to a single place. There's a dead pirate here. He has drugs on him and a gun. In these other rooms. Hunter trap, doesn't really matter. Hallways, go here. Gonna have these two just explore. It's easier to have the melee beaters walk around. Hello. Don't want to walk in here there, mostly because there's a hunter trap in there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold open. I'm gonna trigger them, and then we're just gonna try to. Wow. That actually, we survived that, but oh shoot, it's actually killing us now. Kill it. God, I love melee weapons. Melee weapons are so good when they work in your favor. Now we gotta just beat this thing out. Come on. Okay, trigger it and then move away. Right. Fun fact, the 2 outer engines of the turbojet are going to be used during takeoff and then pass other terms in use other than turning there for flight. I'm trying to think how that would work out, although I guess that does make sense. Alright, here's what we're gonna get everyone in this room, and we're just gonna get ready to deal with the fact that there is a bunch of very open let's just have Exonia 10. We're gonna have Sun crack open a Crypto Sleep casket and just get ready to blast whatever pops out. Alright, let's get everyone into position. Guns at the ready. Alright, it's very angry people who all exploded. This one especially is not gonna live very long. This one definitely is dead. That one has gold and components. Sure. Okay, and then I'm gonna send... They actually got a little injured. Right? What do we tend... As long as their mood is fine, that's all I care about. See if we'll go in this way. it would make sense, right? Like if you keep something turned on and you're spreading the load between multiple engines, I don't see why that would make it would make sense, right? Because you're spreading like the load to generate enough thrust to stay afloat among so many different engines that it probably is more efficient. Yeah. Where are you going? Okay, so this room has nothing of note, so we're gonna just ignore that room. That's a room asking to die. Next. You've been trying to dissect a sprite for SS13 for the last few hours. It's a bird person race, okay. No, let's undraft everyone. We'll just come back later. Actually, no, you can go in here and quickly knock this turd out. Sony's got a shield still, right? Yes. Okay, quickly knock this turd out. Okay, never mind. Run away, run away, run away. This room's about to explode. Alright, yeah, just everyone get out of here. Now. Alright. It spewed all over there. There's a bird person sending your thing to figure out this place for the beak. Check the skeleton. It's where the beak is attached. I mean, I guess that makes sense. The other engines on the engine didn't have to run as hard, and there was an unnecessary drag. I mean, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, like I said earlier. Like, having multiple engines running makes the other engines not have to run as hard, makes it easier overall for the rest of the things to work and function. What do you mean? What do you mean, phrasing? I'm always phrasing things incorrectly because I know it's going to generate a response. It was all part of my plan as a streamer to generate a response by saying things incorrectly or in a way that might get a reaction out of people. Is it wrong to do such a thing? Who knows? Why don't you tell me? Oh shoot, Xeopozer's going. Okay, we need to get Xeopozer out of the mech suit temporarily. Well, I guess he can just be in it. I don't think it matters. The game doesn't care. He's content. Would I ever say highly sus things to elicit a response? Maybe. I don't do it all the time. I don't, in fact, do it very often. Because I have standards and like to be professional sounding whenever I can. Please believe me when I say that. Garm is on a murderous rage and has decided to kill Immortal. Why? Because Garm is hungry. They're all hungry. There's a literal nutrient paste dispenser up in space. They could just get some paste. There's even meals. Oh, we gotta make more shields, I guess. We'll just slap down a few more shields. I don't remember which one of these things is my... Here we go, my smithy's right here. It's okay. You're just gonna smack Immortal while Immortal's trying to eat their meal of rice and rice. Basically, in space, all you're eating is kanji. Or lugao, or whatever word you want to call it, but that's all you're eating up in space right now. That's all that's available. So rude. I haven't done anything wrong to deserve things being thrown at me. What is this? Anyways, we're gonna go have... Okay, Sant's not allowed outside anymore because he keeps swapping out his equipment. Okay, you need the helmet. Okay, there you go. Now you're fine. No one's allowed to wear this. We're just gonna allow that. Hello, why am I getting things thrown at me? What have I done? By the way, let's take a look over here real quick. Since we have a lot of steel now, we can actually do a lot of work and expand housing sections. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna expand the housing as much as I reasonably can. In fact, I kind of want to expand this so this hallway actually lines up here. I know it's not lined up right now. I kind of messed up. I'd have to expand this room out. I think about to here. Yeah, we're gonna try to expand this out since our pawns up here aren't doing much anyways, and then should be able to make this a little bigger. And then over here, we'll also try to basically build a line out here, and then we'll deconstruct this entire section here as well. It is oxygenated, though it doesn't really matter. And then that way it'll be nice and even. I'm curious what you mean by extra lazy fried rice. How lazy are we talking about? How lazy have you approached or become? Okay, that should be fine because they're gonna dig that out. Immortal. Okay, let's have We're gonna send in... Okay, Sonia still has a shield. Just kidding. Sun does not have a shield anymore, unfortunately. Xanth has a shield, so we're gonna send Xanth, Zeoposer, Havel, Dennis. I think this should be fine. We're gonna send them in. I can't believe Ranu sent the shrimp to fry that rice. What did the rice deserve to do this? Hello, Kahila. Good evening. I'm doing pretty good. We're approaching the end of our magical adventure here in space tonight, but we're trying to at least get some more, you know, uncover a few more shenanigans. Actually, that's really funny. I'm gonna have you swap weapons to this big one. Make sure you have that one equipped, and I'm gonna have Xanth kind of... Let's see if I can have Xanth assist here. Zeeposer pivot around the corner. Try to shoot this turret down while Xanth tries to follow from the rear. Okay, perfect. That was excessive, but it worked. Fantastic. Go here. Fried spam, seasoned rice, a little vinegar, honey, habanero, pepper powder, Massachusetts, a little big sugar, special. You know what? That sounds pretty good. Although I don't know if I would add the habanero pepper powder, mostly because I have a weak mouth and I do not wish to die. But if you enjoy it, more power to you. It is not for me, though. Alright, let's see if Xanth can kill all these drones by himself, or he's gonna get stun-locked. Oh! Xanth actually is killing these things, not being stun-locked. I'm actually impressed. Xanth was not completely useless. Oh, hello. There's a lot in here. Alright, as for you started migraines and started... Oh my gosh. I hope your migraine goes away. That's really rough, though. How bad is the migraine? Sounds rough. There we go. Kill that last one. I wonder if... Okay, I was about to say, I wonder if Xanth can go in there and kill everything, but I don't want to risk it. So we'll have Xanth rejoin the rest of the party. Let's see if there's a scan in here. I think most of these rooms have been resolved. We'll check that last room out. In fact, what I'm going to do, though, I'm going to have Havel stand here. I'm going to have Dennis bait out the... Oh, nice. Okay, nice shotgun shot. Oh, okay. That sounds really rough. I hope you feel better soon. Just eat the turret. Eat the... just probably won't walk away from that. Being in that heavy armor... Oh, jeez, there's another thing here. Gee, that's fine. We'll ignore that. Okay, a few more rooms to check out. Just scan the rest of these rooms out. And then we'll go deal with the big room last. The big room is always going to be the last thing. Oh my gosh, another set of drones. Okay. Hopefully he'll be okay. I'm sure Xanth will be okay. He's a big boy. Wow. Look at this. More weapons. A lot of NEKOGRAD weapons, too. Okay, that's fine. We probably need to send Xanth back to get tended to. He's been fighting for quite some time. He's probably able to rest. But yeah, I hope you're able to get some... I assume medicines you've tried and it's just not worked for you. Okay, so undraft everyone. Everyone go back and get tended to, and we'll return in a bit to resolve the final rooms. Yeah, I think it's literally just this room left, right? These rooms are basically it. You tried normal ibuprofen. How about acetaminophen? That's the other thing that a lot of people usually like to use. Personally, I used to use a lot of acetaminophen, but I found that it doesn't really do much for me anymore, so I typically use ibuprofen. But, you know, I'm not sure whatever works for you, right? That's ultimately what matters. You be what? Yeah, ibuprofen my acetaminophen till I Motrin all over the Tylenol. Yeah, exactly what I said. I don't know if that made any sense, but we can pretend it did. Oh yeah, look at how beautiful this is. It's turning out wonderful. Look at all those walls we're building. Okay, now we just gotta actually hook this up right here, ideally now. So prioritize building this wall so that this thing is not, at least keeps us oxygen. Recounting wizard days from the past life. Yeah, little did you know I was actually a wizard in the olden days. I speak in the tongues of the past. Oh, okay, that's unfortunate. That is a reason to not take that medicine then. Understandable. Break that open, and then I need to make sure we have the poured. We don't have any reinforced concrete right now, but we'll definitely get some at some point. I want to basically just grab this for the sake of grabbing it and say that we completed at least one more objective. You know what? We have to destroy it, right? Can't I just wait? Hold on. Who's got my missile launcher? I think it was Umi. Hold on. I have a fun idea. Let's grab a few people. I have a funny idea. And by funny, I mean this is probably a really dumb idea. Let's try it. So we're just gonna walk over here real quick. Umi's got a funny toy called a... Oh shoot, maybe don't stand over there. Hold on. Let's get rid of this missile. Let's get rid of this turret first. Alright. Good to know that aiming and shooting at this thing is very difficult. Alright, better idea. Fling a grenade at it. Fling a nice... Move up a little bit. Fling a nade. And then pull back. Cool, and then I'm just gonna send Umi here and watch this fun toy. So we have explosive missiles. I'm just gonna do this. Okay, Umi's getting shot. Maybe we don't want to do that anymore. All right, here's one. Okay, and then let's just wait for the missile to come in. All right, turret eliminated. Let's do that again. Okay, I don't know if it's just because we're too far, or maybe the angle of the attack is just bad. But I do need to get rid of these, so I'm just gonna have Ray and Exonia just charge in there. I'm sure they can just kill these without too much problems. I think it's... Oh yeah, there's literally too much in the way. Fling an EMP grenade that way first. And then, I don't know, run up there and stab the turret. Melee attacks kill these way faster anyways. Have Exonia assist. And then these should die fairly quickly. I love these. I do love the missile launchers. There's just so much fun to be like, ah, threat, missile. All right, let's see if that's enough. Hold on, just have these guys stand over here. Stand behind. All right, problem solved. I may or may not have accidentally destroyed other aspects of this. I think I might have destroyed the grav light panels. Listen, I trust in the full 100% accuracy of these missile launchers. There is no way that this could ever cause any problems for me whatsoever. I have the full faith and trust of the Nekogradian Republic. And so that... Alright, so we'll grab all that real quick, and then we'll check out the last room here that I kind of forgot about. Let's send in... You know what, Alana, you move the fastest. We're going to have you just kind of walk in there. What is in that room? I'm just researching whatever I want at this point. It doesn't even matter. Ah, yes, my favorite. More meals. All right, grab the meals, grab the meals. I'm pretty sure I know what's in this, so I'm not even going to bother. And this person is a dead corpse. That is a helmet I don't really care about. So I think we can just grab the... I need more shields on these folks. Does Exonia not have a shield yet? Okay, so I'm gonna grab Exonia and this stack over here. I'm gonna have them come to this room. You know what? Grab Z-Opposer too. Why not? Bring the big guy and his big funny weapon. We're gonna go check out this last room. I don't know what's in the Crypto Sleep caskets, but I need to find out. It could be treasure. Could be hostiles. Ah, they are hostiles. All right. Amazing. They were smart enough to put in the undershield, so now I have to go up there and actually deal with this. Thankfully, it's one way, so now they're dead. Yeah, they didn't have much. This one is probably dead, so I guess I will relieve them of their items. Actually, no, just fully strip them. Fully strip this one too, that's fine. Perfect. All right, and then we're just gonna let everyone do their own thing, and we'll grab all the stuff that we kind of forgot about. Psychoid brewing is probably fine too. Some tea is always good for our morale. You're surprised? Even it's hot rice? I mean, have you ever had like a runny egg on rice? It is delicious. And I'm not just saying the Japanese way, just like even just a normal cooked runny egg on rice is just really good. And it's basically the same concept, just maybe less cooked of a yolk. Coating it those delicious grains. Ooh, it's so nice. I do highly recommend it. Like I typically like my eggs super runny. Sunny side up or whatever you want to call it. So for me, that's not super out of the ordinary. Have a good night, Garm. Thank you for joining us. Don't worry, we'll be ending soon anyways, I think. We're approaching the end of the colony. We will need to go back to the station, though. Now that we have our spoils, let's actually dismantle all this while we're at it. Basically, we're going to strip anything here that could be destroyed. Because every bit of material counts for our needs, including the tables here that aren't really needed, but I want to make sure we grab them. Let's make sure we have everything that we can get our grubby hands on. This will also have survival meals, just like that. Okay. Because we're gonna need more steel. We have at least have enough uranium, and obviously up here we're expanding the area. So just at least make this look a little more complete, let's add a few more housing areas. So this goes about 6 tiles deep, and then like that. And we'll repeat the process on the other side just to kind of make it even. Again, it's not the most efficient look, but it's the look that I have chosen to go with for this colony. Put some doors there too. Soil reclamation, unnecessary technologies, but that's fine. We will mirror this instead of making it like look exact. Actually, no, screw it. Just make it look exactly the same. Just have the door across from each other. Actually, you know what's really funny? Oh wait, I forgot. If there's nowhere for them to dump materials, they just dump it on the floor. I completely forgot about that. All right. Let's keep gathering everything we can gather. That should be fine. Yeah, I know. I forgot that it does that. I was like, huh, I wonder what's been going on. I forgot to leave components behind, and I was like, oh, they've been making components, all right. I am gonna have way too many components now. We actually have a lot of steel, which is actually really good. So you can see the steel at least is getting quite hefty here. See, look at this. Look at how much material we have. I could probably build I could build like 3 more plasma drills. No, shelves require effort and storage. Why do that when I can just leave it on the floor and pick it up when I need it? Spoken like a true gamer. All right, let's go. Let's get out of here. I think we got everything, so not really a point in sticking around here. Yeah, let's get out of here. Also, so Sea-Pulsar can get out of the mech suit. Okay, we actually can't get there immediately, so we need to land at least 1 more tile, and then we'll continue on our journey. We'll just land somewhere flat. Yeah, it's fine. Somewhere flat's okay, and then we'll continue on. I think we have enough fuel, I hope? God, I haven't been paying attention to how much fuel we have, but I'm hoping we have enough. Like I said, there's a lot of... I will say, when I make these ship designs, I think one of the biggest concerns is that it's very space inefficient. Like, if you might have noticed, like, looking at it, there's a lot of just empty space. Especially the hallways. I think most people, when they design their grav ships, they usually... Well, they use each room as connect to one another as like a giant hallway type thing, right? You don't have hallways, you just move between rooms until you get to the room you're looking for. But I really prefer the aesthetic of having hallways in my buildings, even if it's very inefficient. Hello, Interest. How are you, comrade? Good evening. Welcome to our funny little adventure. How have you been? Don't mind me. We're loading into landing because we're trying to get back to the station. But how have you been, Interest? I'll do the shout out in a second. 1 second. My ear's like itchy. Okay, let me do the little shout out here. I think all the mods died, as in they went to bed. I could do that, but that also means I'm not using the hallways for the fact that they're hallways. I actually am using some hallway areas of storage. But how have you been? How's your Zombieland run going? Or are you doing a different run right now? Could have sworn you're still doing Zombieland. I will double check this. Oh, it died. Oh, okay. Got it. Oh, you're playing Terraria. Ooh. How are they constantly getting superheated? Wait. Whoa. Why is it 130 Celsius in this room? Am I missing something? Like, wait, why is it super hot in this room? Wait. It's because I don't have heat sinks. It's because I don't have heat sinks. That's why I need heat sinks. Yeah, I was like, wait a second. I don't actually have a single heat sink built into the ship. That's legitimately the reason. Okay, well, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? In that case, I don't think these need to be indoors, right? How big is this thing? 3x3? I'll put like two like right here just for the time being, just so I have them. It's not where I want to put them, but I need them anyways somewhere, so we'll just quickly slap them out while we're waiting for the ship to cool down over the next 9 hours. Yeah, I think once I got to the Grav Hulk, it's gonna be causing a lot more heat problems. Yeah, drag on pocket pair harder first. What do you mean? Oh, for the what's it called? It's because like, are you playing Calamity or is it just like the new update? I don't play Terraria, FYI. I know enough about like what's going on, but I don't play Terraria out of my own choice because I just don't really want to play it, quite frankly. Like I said, every time I see the word survival crafter, I immediately shrivel up in response. And I'm just like, I don't want to. I can't. Must refuse. I can't. It's too much. Oh, shoot. Let's get rid of this wall real fast, because I completely forgot about this, and Airman Joker might be trapped in here. I am a coward. I just don't like survival crafters. I like roguelikes. I love roguelike games, but survival crafters are kind of for me. I don't know. It's just not my genre. It's just not the genre for me, unfortunately. Alright, let's just do this real quick. We should be building this out soon, hopefully, if our dear pawns are willing to actually slam this out. Please build me my grav ship walls. What's Icarus? Is that the one where you own like a starship or something? Or like an airship? Enough steel to hopefully build a few heat sinks here. Just put like one there, should be fine. What's the factorial? Wait, hold on. What's the factorial roguelike? What do you mean factorial roguelike? Is that a thing? Basically, I thought zombies are house helper to dig for one. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that's the part of. I do remember that part. For Terraria, because I know you have to like build houses and stuff for them too, and it's mostly just it's the crafting part. I think I just don't like crafting. Starforge. When do you get alpacas? You're only 11 days in your run. What do you mean? Let me look at the game. Starforge game. Are you doing a new run, or are you talking about someone's stream? There are alpacas at Angel's Rest. Well, I guess you are now an alpaca tamer and manager. Starforge, a strategy game where you take the role of a space called Terrans. Oh, what's this? What's this thing? Oh, I think this is not the right game. I think this is the correct game. Maybe not. I don't know. Is it called Star Rupture? All right, Star Rupture. Is this actually a? Is this actually a factorial roguelike? This looks more like satisfactory. It's a little different. Satisfactory and Factorio completely different. For example, I vastly prefer Factorio to Satisfactory, although I am considering giving Factorio another or Satisfactory another shot. Yeah, I can probably handle Terraria. Like, so my main thing is I did play Terraria a couple times with some friends, but my biggest gripe was every time I played with them, I would log off for the day, and I would log back on, and they would have already progressed like through 3 bosses and maybe have gone through the wall of flesh, and I was like, I'm still using like bronze tools or whatever it's called, copper. And so I was just like, I think I'm done. I'm good, fam. So it really, I was like, that's why I don't really play it. It kind of soured me on the whole experience of the game, even though, you know, it's not really the game's fault. But I was just like, I'm good. I don't think I want to play. If that makes sense. All right, we're gonna go back to the space. All right, back to Mir. All right, let's get everyone on the ship. Let's go. You know what I actually saw? So I saw this. I will say I saw this very interesting Minecraft concept. So you all know what Skyblock is, right? Imagine Skyblock, but it's more you have an entire chunk, and you have to explore your entire one single chunk and get the resources you need to unlock additional chunks, and you have to keep doing this over and over and over again until you can kind of build out your world and you can complete your objectives. I thought it was super interesting. I don't remember the specific goal of it. I have to take a look at it. What was it called? Minecraft. I can't remember what it's called. Is it called the Chunk Challenge? But you do make additional chunks over time, so it's not just like you're stuck with one chunk. And I was like, that seems actually kind of cool, and like a test of actual game knowledge on how to play it. Oh, maybe that would be kind of an interesting, just like one-off stream. Like, how far can I get in the one chunk challenge? Because I'm pretty sure I could probably get through it decently. I don't know. Oh, okay, one sec. My ears like driving me crazy. So I have like an ear pick that I'm like slowly trying to free my ear. Oh my god. I'm not surprised if Zomboid has it either. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of other games have similar concepts where it's like very limited resources and space, and you have to just work around that. Ikaruga? Oh, this game. Yeah. This is the bullet hell game. One of my friends is really into this one. So you're not playing Calamity. I know Calamity is like the super popular one that everyone's always going crazy about. Also, isn't the Steam sale like in like 2 days? I plan on getting I think like the only game I'm like half interested in getting right now is Noita. It's like that one roguelike with like physics and spells and all sorts of other stuff. One of my friends is really into it. I've been wanting to get it. I'm not interested in getting the Bravely Default remake on Steam. I might get the Octopath Traveler 0 maybe, but I haven't decided yet. Oh no, I love Rabbit and Steel. I have like 80 hours in Rabbit and Steel. I am not that good at it, but I can get through hard somewhat consistently. Yeah, I can get through the game on hard with a decent amount of consistency, but it is definitely not an easy game. You better be ready for some difficulty. Oh my goodness, wait. How long could repair cabinets go upside down? Has this always been a thing? I swear this used to not be a thing. I swear it always had to face one direction. Oh my god, it's the future. We are in the future. Since 1.5, I swear they used to not be able to. Oh my god, wait, really? Maybe like when I remember using it one time, I was like, I couldn't get them to go like in any direction. Oh wait, I'm not crazy then. It is new in 1.6. Okay, I'm not crazy. I think this is the first time we're actually using it in 1.6, which is why I'm like, oh my god. Yes, I'm not crazy. Oh, I'm not crazy after all. I need to get that blueprints mod again. I need blueprints again. It's been so long. I think this goes right in front of here. There we go. Yeah. If you're ever looking for a game, I highly, highly recommend Rabbit and Steel. Even if you don't think you're good at it, I think it's still a load of fun. There's a lot of difficulties. You can just play on like hard or normal or easy that they call cute, or you can play on what's it called? If you really want a challenge, you can play on Lunatic and pretend you're like a hardcore MMO raider, and then you realize, oh no, I'm really bad at this game. I should not be doing this. To a door because it wasn't good. You know, I actually had that rotation problem with the radiators. The large radiators had a weird rotation problem where they would shift ever so slightly, like one tile, and it would make it look completely off. So whenever I build a ship nowadays, I only put the small radiators because the big ones just rotate poorly. Yeah. What is this one? Star. Okay, yeah, this is the game. Roguelike Factorio. What's the roguelike aspect? Is it if you die, you die? Or is it because you're fighting off insects like you're playing Satisfactory? Because I know that's a function of that game too, so that's why I'm curious. Look at this. Look at how beautiful this is. We have beds. We have actual furniture everywhere now. Oh. After so many, many moons, we have actual... Oh, should we actually have a real base? A proper base? We'll do 2. I think we'll just kind of install these on the rear side of this. That should be fine. Oh, it's a world wipe? Okay. Roguelike StarCraft 2 campaign? What? So the thing is, like, I don't have any Blizzard games installed anymore. I think at some point I did have Heroes of the Storm installed, and I actually enjoyed playing that, but I haven't played that in forever. If someone can find me a good RTS roguelike, I wouldn't mind streaming it. Actually, there is one that actually caught my eye. Someone basically took the concept of roguelikes and combined it with the Total War system, and I think it's called like Tavern Wars or something. I played the demo, and the demo was a little rough around the edges, but considering it's like a single person experience, I was like kind of impressed with it, and I'm probably going to play it at some point, although I don't know if it's going to be a streaming game. I think it is a game that is kind of fun. Tabletop Tavern is what it's called. I don't know, do you want me to see a Blizzard game? Do you want me to play StarCraft? Is that a thing people want to see? I know there's like that single, like those custom missions too. Blizzard being such rush is terrible. I know, especially like what they did to Jeff. How could they do that to Jeff Kaplan? He was a good soul, a good being, and they've ruined gaming for him. Shame on the suits at Blizzard for what they've done. What is canned bread? I'm trying to see how much more of the base I can fill up in the time we have allotted. I'm actually gonna move the table like slightly, like one tile. I'm gonna move the chairs over too, just move them like one step over. And then I don't think, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here to this kitchen. I'm just gonna copy all of these and just dump them in here. Okay. I no longer need this nutrient paste dispenser. This is no longer necessary. And then, since we have a lot of steel now, goodness gracious, we actually have a lot of steel, I can continue expanding this. All of our components got hauled to where they need to go, thankfully. And then, we actually have enough advanced components now. Perfect. Good luck. I hope you survive the gas apocalypse. I don't know if it's ending anytime soon. You're probably going to be stuck with it for a while. Let's add steel tiles here. Just flesh that out. I think this room will also have steel tiles because it's a little bit more utilitarian. And then, let's see, I should have enough of the concrete. We'll take the concrete, just kind of dump it in. Oh, actually, that's probably fine. We can also expand this out. That'd be ideal. But there's a lot of spaces that need to be chopped up, so let's make sure we chop this up. And with all the steel, let's finish up our hospital room, as this is going to require a lot of resources. It's like this. And we'll also add the intravenous drip stands. We'll again mirror it on these sides, put the vitals monitor as well. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Put a few plants in between. Perfect. He's strong, depending on who he asks. Is from a good era of Blizzard, but after finding ways to run the good era, respect. What do we mean by that? Like, I just never. Okay, so here's the thing. The reason I never really got into StarCraft is I like RTSs, but I prefer RTSs that do not require a high APM. I like having the ability to take time to plan out my moves. And so that's why games like Total War appeal to me, because I can slow it down, I can pause it, and it's generally combat's way slower in general. So low APM strategy games are what appeal to me. That's why I really love Ruse. Ruse was a RTS game that I fell in love with many years ago. But it's not very popular, and also you cannot buy it anymore because Ubisoft didn't want to pay for the license. Ruse is like my favorite RTS of all time, like one of my favorite RTSs of all time. Rise of Nations has been on my list of maybe I'll play this at some point, but never got around to doing it. Let's see. I wouldn't mind playing like old retro strategy games either if there's a demand for it. Just put recommendations in the suggestions channel and I will look. That's basically always been my policy. If you think there's something that you would want to see, put it in there. I can't guarantee it, but I'll definitely take a look at it. Oh my god, I could put shield projectors in here. Wait a second. We should have been building shield generators for the base. That's too late now. Actually, how big can I make this? Wait, is there a different? This is 2x2. Oh, these are literally the same amount of shield. It's just do you want a 2x2 or do you want a 3x3? I think the 1x1 is the smaller one, right? Yeah, okay, that's literally just because of that. I don't think Twitch or YouTube would allow me to stream rants for obvious reasons. Nor would I be allowed to stream Evenical, so we are just not... I don't want to get banned. I like being allowed to stream on twitch.tv. I like existing on this platform. I would prefer to not lose that privilege anytime soon, you know? I'm sure most of you would agree that it would be kind of cool to be able to stick around for the foreseeable future. So, you know, yeah. Let's not get kicked off by the platforms, please. I like to exist. You know what's good? Just put like this beautiful floor pattern here too. That's okay. At this point, I don't even care. As long as it looks nice enough. I was gonna add some other floors, but I think the nice, clean, white vibe is exactly what I want. There's a guy playing rants on. Is he playing like a safe for work version or something? Like, the game's not exactly what I would call appropriate, if you know what I mean. So I would be interested to know how he's pulling that off. 1, 2, so 7. 7. Oh, it'd be kind of like ooh, yeah, I don't like that. That's not ugly. That's kind of ugly. Actually, I think I would probably not turn this into like a bedroom. I think I'd probably turn this into like another utility room of some kind. Something like that, and then probably slap a door or a double door here. Maybe you could even turn this into like showers 1 and showers 2, one for men and one for women would probably make sense. So the only thing I didn't get a chance to do, at least for this station, what's going on here? Oh, fun fact, the toilet stopped working because the meteor actually destroyed a sewage dump port that I never replaced. I'm aware of what rants is, though. Wait, hold on. Even cell is, let's see. Is that, I know that's the one where you can kind of, is that the one where you can do anything you want, or am I mixing that up with a different game? Okay, yeah, no, never mind. That's a completely different game. Yeah, completely different game. No, it wasn't you. It was the orbital storm. The orbital storm destroyed this corner of the ship, and it destroyed the sewage dump port. Did he do a review of it? I don't remember that part. It's an Alisoft game. Okay, well, in that case, yeah, I don't need to play. I don't play that genre of game anymore. I don't really have an interest in playing that genre of video game. Although it's really funny because I saw people talking about how those games taught them Japanese because they really wanted to, I guess, learn the language through Rogue. And I was like, well, that's definitely a way to learn the language. So anything's possible if you put your mind to it. Okay, so let's just put the final beds in here. So this is gonna be for Lana. And then there's gonna give this one to Ray. We'll put Alana's husband of X-Slayer in here. We'll put in Unholy. We'll put in Z Opposer, who has earned the right to be here. Who else has earned the right? Arm's already up here. Infidel will now be in space forever, as well as the young Umi and Havel. There we go. So we got those. You apparently have a husband in this game. Don't think about it too much. It's just there. It's how you learn English and Spanish. Hey, look. Sometimes wanting to consume media is the best way to learn a language. Like I really want to brush up on my Japanese like reading ability because it's really janky because I suck at kanji. Just so I could read Hidan no Aria, because that franchise is so, I didn't like that thing's had 44 books without an official English translation, but it's so fun. I remember reading the fan scanlations like a long time ago, and it's just batshit crazy, like the nonsense that goes in there. Like I swear, like the main character gets her pink hair because her grandfather Sherlock Holmes is alive in the modern day on a submarine and shoots a bullet to the past, and that bullet is filled with a special metal that is like that gives her special powers when she shoots her through the time portal, shooting her in the past, and it's embedded into her body, and it gives her crazy powers and also makes her hair all pink. You remember how I did that book review of or like that really bad book summary of The Fourth Wing, even though I never read it? One of these days I want to sit down and basically dedicate like an hour, and I will explain to you like the entirety of Hidan no Aria as I remember it. And you will just be like, how is this a thing? And why did it get 44 novels? And why did it only get one season of an anime, aside from the side stories, which was AA, which was also kind of janky? And that's a whole different level of nonsense that I would also love to get into. I could also do an entire review of Persona 4 like that, though I don't remember the entire plot of Persona 4. I'd have to like definitely get a review, although it's gonna just end up being like a Hymns Daisy comic or Haim Daisy comic. Anyways, we have accomplished our goal of making the space station Mir a wonderful place for our dear dedicated comrades to develop their own space-based society, complete with metals and complete with food supplies, although we're running out of food, and oxygen and all sorts of other goodies. Really, I believe the station could last even further along if I continued playing this run. But at the very least, we should press a certain button. I will declare victory. Victory. The space program of NEKOGRAD stands strong against those who would see the glorious light of progress snuffed out. The space station Mir stands as a testament to the ingenuity of the brave NEKOGRADians, and as a monument to those who have fallen. The survivors include Comrade Anya, Elana, Exonia, Ammon, Joker, Boomhouse, Doing Dennis, Funbound, Gom, Havel, Kafir, Immortal, Infidave, Nahil, Rare Pickle, Rachel, Ray, Steve, Son, Sweetald, Umi, Unholy, Xanth, Z Opposer, X-Slayer, and the two we picked up at the end, Jesse and Sarah. In memory of Raging, Steve, Airman, Violet, X-Slayer, Ranu, Z Opposer, Sweetheart, Ziryu, and X-Slayer. Okay, so I forgot a bunch of them died a bunch of times. Was Garm in here? I forget. Probably, right? Yes, Garm survived. Okay. Is there a way to make this resume playing again? Or is it just gonna be like super janky? But we did it! We completed the NEKOGRAD 5 campaign. After 17 episodes of Rimworld, we did it. Just gonna scroll past this real fast. Thank you for playing. Oh yeah, if you want to see the list of mods here, there's a very big list. You can see all the people that did things to help contribute to all this. Thank you also to Alana for making all the NEKOGRAD support content, including the whatchamacallit, the uniforms and the guns and the helmets, after I mentioned how we don't have NEKOGRADian helmets. So I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you for assisting with our magical adventure of complete Rimworld nonsense. God, Waiting for the Sun is such a good song. But salute to our dear NEKOGRADian comrades. Who knows where they might end up in the future? For space is a very, very big place. And even on this planet here, where we started in these very who knows what areas, the further you zoom out, the more you realize it's not just us on this galaxy. There's many, many more lives out there waiting to be re-educated. And this totally isn't a segue into into the NEKOGRAD Star Sector lore. We'll worry about that later. How did you live? To be quite frank, the reason why most people lived is because once we kind of reach a certain point, like halfway through the game, it's very easy to keep people alive. A lot of the deaths in a lot of these runs happen early on, and we eventually reach a point where we just don't die as much. The other thing too is we just didn't deal with a lot of raids at some point, and we just was able to just chill and just build. So that's another thing. But I hope you enjoyed the saga of NEKOGRAD 5. Just as a real quick calculation, since this was 17 episodes and an average of 4 hours per stream, that means we did about 68 hours on this run. Yeah, basically survived long enough until the tech mods kick in, and then everything is fine. I wish I was joking, but that's true. That is the actual what we're up to. As long as we can survive long enough, the run will just self-perpetuate. Okay, so yeah, maybe minus like a few hours for loading, so we probably like maybe 62 hours for the run. So I hope you enjoyed. This was a very enjoyable experience, and we will do a brand new run beginning next week on Monday. I will try to pick and choose mods that are not made by nasty people. I'm sure I'll maybe... we'll see. I'll maybe post the mod list before. I'll try to do some testing and not do live testing like I did this time. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I think I may try to... I think I'm gonna see if I can make this run into an actual video. Like one of those long form video content you see on YouTube. But I've never really written a long script like that. And also scrubbing through 68 hours of footage might be a bit of a disaster. But I'll see if I can come up with a narrative. We'll see. We'll see. If you happen to have any parts of the run that you really enjoyed, please, I don't know, find a way to clip it. Obviously, all the VODs are on YouTube or something. And let me know. I still do owe the Fire Emblem one at some point. Anyways, thank you for joining. We're going to go raid this in. Have a good night, everyone. I'm going to go grab some food, and then I got to go do some other stuff. But thank you for joining on our magical Rimworld adventure. May the light of NEKOGRAD be with you always. I do need to make the album first. That's also true. There's a lot of things I got to do. I'm going to run away from my responsibilities now. Goodbye. Oh, I don't know. Use whatever raid message you want. Here's this one. Yeah, that's cool, right? Yeah. Yeah. Just gaze at this. Look at how cool this is. We went through so much effort to make our space station. All right, goodbye.